Welcome to Hardly in Love. It is your host, Tyshawn Jackson, live from Atlanta, in here with my co-host, Ryan Ketchens.
It's official, man. The third episode, so I know this is going to be explosive. I think we had close to like 80 people in the waiting room before we get started, so
yeah,
I'm excited for this one.
I'm very excited as well, and y'all already know how the Party of 8 get down. We went ahead and found and vetted for y'all 8 beautiful bachelors and bachelorettes that are about to be here.
At this point, I think we got a few hundred people apply.
Yeah.
So we're very particular about getting the right people, because the thing is, we want people to come on and really share and not be afraid to make decisions live on camera in front of thousands of people. So I think we did a good job.
And be open to finding love. Y'all know we bringing actual real connections here. Y'all remember back in the day when it was just like some ladies you could only access through the family, where you be like, yo, Tyrone, look, Shanice, I know a chick named Shanice. You and Shanice, we're going to put this together. So that's what we doing. We doing like back in the day when we used to match it up back at the cookouts, back in the family. That's what Hardly in Love here is doing. And we doing it better than ever before. Y'all know when we say we're going to do it, we're going to do it with absolute excellence. So we doing it real excellent here tonight.
Absolutely.
With the people we brought.
So shout out to all the lovers joining us tonight. And go ahead and drop match if you're ready to find a match tonight.
Drop match in the chat.
Guys, I'm going to drop the rules, because the rules is a little different. You know, we working all the kinks out. You know, it's still maybe a little bit of a bumpy ride this evening, but we got some really great feedback from quite a few people that's dropping stuff in the comments, DMing us. So these are the rules for tonight, okay? So obviously the goal is to make genuine connections by the end of the night. So we going to try to at least get one, but multiple
at
is always
least
better, right?
Right.
Now this thing, 8 singles will talk relationships, chemistry, and values. There will be 3 rounds, so expect some exciting surprises really all night long. And this time there will be no elimination. So the singles that we are starting with are going to be the singles that we're going to be finishing.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be good.
He saved y'all.
We're going to keep it exciting. Now, the phone lines will be open for all the lovers in the chat at the end of the night. And this is where we'll have you, come onto the platform, give you opportunity to ask the single some questions, get a little bit of clarity on some things they talked about this evening. And if you are so bold, you might even want to shoot your shot. So we're going to get it popping tonight.
Woo!
Yeah.
So y'all want to hang in there to the end, because it will go down tonight. In fact, we're going to do a very quick and brief introduction of the singles, okay? Actually, I want to start with the brothers. Let's go ahead and bring the bachelors up on here tonight. Let's go ahead and show my bachelors, because the first thing I want to do, let's start with this brother, because the brother's name is so gangsta and thorough. I got to start with him. This brother's name is Gauntlet. All right, my brother here is 43 years old, 6'2", standing 6'2", tall with it. All right, in the city of Atlanta. The brother here has 1 child. He is a musician, and he told us he's a Christian. He's here with us rocking today. Welcome, my brother Gauntlet, to Hardly Initiated. It's a blessing to have you here, brother.
Man, blessing to be here. Appreciate you boys, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I want to get
Look
to
at this man photo, man. He had to pull the muscles out on him.
He kind of flexed on him real quick. Gauntlet, we see you in the gym, brother.
Don't do me like that. Let's see what y'all. I see how y'all are. We starting off like this, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, trust me. Listen, the ladies, they go. If the ladies like it in the chat, drop me in the chat real quick. But let me get to my next bachelor real quick, because I got somebody here that I respect quite a bit. He's actually been on one of our previous dating shows. Hopefully I can get the brother a match here. We talking about Rob. My brother's 49 years old, 5'11", CEO and chairman of a nonprofit, 4 adult kids, and the faith is spiritual. Welcome here, my brother Rob. It's a blessing to have you.
Hey, it's good to be here. Hey, look, man, I appreciate you guys having me. It's definitely a good look what you guys are doing. So whatever I can do to contribute, man, I'm here for it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Rob. We appreciate you for joining. Now, Rob is really a return.
Yeah.
A return single.
Yeah.
He was on the first time we ever piloted a Hardly in Love show. We did like a brief segment. And Rob, how was that experience for you? Is it gonna be a little bit different this time? You gonna find a match this time?
Yeah, I mean, there's millions of people in this world, so there's got to be a match somewhere.
We got somebody for you.
We probably got it tonight. All right, let's see if we can make it happen tonight. Let's get to my next bachelor.
Now, next up, we got Benny. Benny is 48 years old. He is 5'10", straight out of Chicago. The brother is in finance, actually, at the University of Chicago. Is that right, Benny?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. No kids, and Benny is a fellow Christian brother.
There you have it. Benny, welcome to Hardly in
Thank
Love,
you
my
for
brother.
having me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Now, last but not least, we got my man Eric. Eric is 39-year-old bachelor. He is 5'7", from Lake Charles, and this is very interesting. Eric is a chef, 3 kids, and also a Christian.
So hold on, wait, Eric, you be in there like you in there cooking for the ladies? That's what you're doing?
Nah, I actually work at a single living while I work for I cook for like the elderly.
Ah, I get it. Got it. So you're not cooking for the ladies.
Now, do y'all still season the food, Eric? Is the food well seasoned?
So I'm single, so I'm looking for a lady to cook for.
There you go.
I like
There you
that.
go. He
I
said,
like
hey,
that.
he said he's open and willing. My brother Eric, welcome to Hardly in Love, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Now, take us into the ladies. I'm very excited. We got
man.
some beautiful ladies this evening.
We got some beautiful
Yeah.
bachelorettes in here. Lionel, please pull up. Let's show the world my bachelorettes, because I want to go ahead and start here with my sister Phoenix. Phoenix is 39 years old. Phoenix is out in Houston, Texas. She is a communications executive, so I'm really excited to hear her mouthpiece tonight. Communications executive. She's standing 5'5", has 1 kid. She says that she is spiritual, and she is here tonight with us on Hardly in Love. Welcome, Phoenix, to Hardly in Love.
Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited tonight. It's such a beautiful cast. We're all so beautiful, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Y'all
Like
want
the chocolate. We're so
a bunch of black queens. Now, this is the thing. This is very special because Tyshawn and I actually had the pleasure of meeting Phoenix in person when we threw our first Hardly in Love engagement.
Yeah,
Our very
we-
first in-person
Meet and greet.
And
Out of
Phoenix,
Houston.
let me tell you, Phoenix has an amazing personality.
Yeah,
Very, very great energy.
absolutely, man. Phoenix got great energy. She's beautiful.
Thank you.
Always been so positive and delightful. I was glad to have you here join us tonight. So thank you for joining us, Phoenix. I want to get to my next bachelorette. I have this beautiful stallion joining us. Anastasia here, standing 6 feet tall, 37 years old, in software sales over in Houston, Texas. And man, gotta have a good heart, because she actually has 2 adopted children and also identifies as a Christian. We got Anastasia. Welcome to Hardly in Love.
Hello.
Listen, I love my tall beauties. I just cannot resist a lady with some legs.
And look, hopefully one of the fellas on here feeling the same way. So we're excited to have you. The Tall Sisters, they always tell us they have certain specific challenges in the dating
They
space.
do, so I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm
tonight.
excited to talk about. We're going to get into it a little bit tonight, Anastasia. Welcome to the show. I'm going to get to my next bachelor right here with Ryan.
Now, we got Chris. Chris is 38. She is 5'4", out of Dallas, a marketing manager, 1 child, and Chris is also Christian. Chris, welcome to the show. You're beautiful.
Thank you very much. Hello, Hardly in Love family. I'm happy to be here. Nervous, but happy to be here.
Oh, no
Nothing
need
to
to
be
be.
nervous about,
Listen,
Chris.
shake the nerves off. Shake the
I
nerves
know,
off.
right? Out of my comfort zone, but we're doing it tonight. We're going to have some fun.
Listen, I hope that's where we stay all 2025, baby. That's where we grow outside that comfort zone. Welcome
Yeah.
to the show, okay?
And rounding off these beautiful ladies, we have Krista. She is 39, 5'5", from South Florida. This is Fort Lauderdale. A business coach, no kids, and also identifies as a Christian. Krista, welcome to the show.
Welcome, Krista.
Hi guys, how are you?
Oh, man, we are blessed.
Yeah.
We are blessed. Krista.
Thanks for asking how we doing.
Right.
You know, it's cold in Atlanta. It's important. It's about to snow, right? About to have a snow day.
We're about
in
to have a
Atlanta.
snowstorm
That's
here.
allegedly.
Yeah, a snowstorm in Atlanta is an inch of snow.
Yeah, everybody. right.
Yeah, but listen, Krista, we glad to have you. Krista was great. All of my singles were great. I mean, speaking to all of them on the phone, trust me, it was some people I spoke to, and they ain't make it. on the stage with everybody here. So big shout out to my bachelors and my bachelorettes. Let's get to the episode sponsor so we can get to know the singles a little bit better. Ryan, tell us who's sponsoring the show.
So big shout out to Harley and Love. And guys, it's very important. We actually going to pull some cards straight from the 100 prompt deck that we put together that I promise you will take your dating experience to the next level. And this is the thing, we're actually using it in real time here. So it's not just good for date nights. It's also great for family vacation. It's great for the singles night. It's great for time out of town. Really, it's just really good for everything.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to be using it tonight, and we're going to use it to kick off some fun. So this is the thing. I want to remind you guys, we are live every Thursday at 8. Maybe the first few weeks will be around 8:05, 8:10. But
Right.
the goal is 8 p.m. sharp every Thursday. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We actually broke some records last week.
Yeah.
We went from the first episode of having 100 people in the chat. The second episode, very next episode, having 600 people in the chat.
Yeah.
The first episode, we had 200 subscribers. I think now we're sitting at like 2,500
Over 2,500,
subs.
yeah.
So this is big. Apparently, you know, they've been waiting for these dating activations. A
Yeah.
dating show, make some connections, have some conversation. So guys, let's keep the growth. Like and subscribe, and we're gonna show some love.
And listen, we just launched the membership too. So if you want to become a lover, and that's the best way to support, we got a big vision to bring these singles mixes and these activations all around the country to a city near you. So just make sure you stay tapped in with us and continue to support us, because we're gonna continue to do very special things. And listen, what I want to do, y'all, it is time.
Good,
all right,
good.
It is time to find out, all right, a little bit more about these singles, okay, and what they are looking for. So we'll start with a couple questions from us, all right? But singles, feel free to jump in with your own questions. This is a portion of the conversation where we open the floor so you guys can learn a little bit more about each other before we get into these discussion questions, okay? So I want to actually take it back to the top here. So let's actually bring,
Start with the fellas. Or
let's go back to the top where we started. Bring Gauntlet back up here on the stage, okay?
Just us and Gauntlet.
Just us and my
we
brother,
have a good conversation,
Gauntlet,
my
here, okay? So, Gauntlet, check it out here, brother. You know, we got some beautiful ladies here. I want them to get a better idea of what it is exactly you're looking for. So what is it you're looking for in a young woman?
Honestly, God-fearing, Christ-fearing, for sure. I'm a believer. That's important. Someone, I was always told you can tell how someone is based off of how they treat other people. So someone who's kind to other people, for sure, outside of myself. If you have a child, someone who's a good mother, someone who takes time to pay attention to the needs of even their own, and someone who's just selfless, honestly, someone who's selfless, because I'm willing to be sacrificial, willing to be a servant.
Okay.
I think the ladies gonna like that. But what about this, Gauntlet? What about deal breakers? Do you have any deal breakers?
Oh, for sure. Cheating, lying, the things that obviously is not gonna make a commitment work. Someone who's not motivated too, someone who's not ambitious. That's important to me. Having a vision, having some level of passion, because passion says a lot.
Okay, so now this is the thing. I think we asked enough questions.
Yeah.
Let's get the ladies up, because the ladies may
Pull the ladies up.
They may want to get some clarity on some of the things that Gauntlet is sharing. So, ladies, do you all have any questions for Gauntlet?
I do. I do.
Okay, yeah. Fire
Jump
off.
right in.
So my question is, you spoke about, somebody being a cheater or a liar. Those are deal breakers, but those are deal breakers in a relationship. But if we're in the dating stage, what's a deal breaker in dating?
Man, so in the dating stage where I've been, I'd rather have like a real close friendship. So if a person can't be themselves wholeheartedly and it's uncomfortable for you to be a friend as a foundation, then that to me is already a challenge. So I wouldn't want to put too much of the cart before the horse. I would rather know that you are 100% unapologetically who you are. So you shouldn't feel the pressure. You should definitely feel safe, but you shouldn't feel no pressure. So I wouldn't even put that much pressure on you. If you do anything that's out of line, or somebody does something that's not right, then that's more so accounted to who you are versus, me feeling like, oh, you cheated. Like you shouldn't even have to feel that way. You get what I'm saying? So it's really no pressure. I just want you to be comfortable. You should feel safe. You should have all your guards down. So I wouldn't want to put that much pressure or expectation on you in the beginning.
Okay, great. Hey, great question, by the way.
Excellent question.
Anastasia. And while the people are getting to know you, I want you to just say your name before you speak as well, just so we can get to know you. But ladies, did anybody else have another question for Gauntlet?
I have a question.
There you go. Go ahead.
Krista.
Gauntlet, you said that you're a musician. Is that right?
Yes, I am.
Well, you can tell a lot about a man by the instrument he plays. Which instrument do you play?
I'm gonna give you one guess. Which instrument do you think I play?
Keys or guitar? That would be my best guess.
Ooh, play drums.
Ooh, I was hoping it wasn't the drums.
That's so bad. That sounds bad.
Ooh, it's okay.
Wait. Why are you listen, Krista? Why are you hoping it wasn't the drums? What's wrong with the drums?
Yeah, what happened?
I'm a singer, and I grew up in church. And the drummers,
That's how we started. Yeah, at least time, right?
Hey, we need the 808s, so you gotta have those.
Hey, shout out to my drummers.
Who
I
has
have
the
a
next
question
question?
for you, Gauntlet. I do. Can
Go
you
ahead,
hear me
Chris.
okay?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned ambition, and this day and age, women and ambition being described in the same sentence is pretty controversial, depending on who you ask. So I'd like to know what you mean by ambition, and is there a certain level of ambition that is too far for you or not enough for you when it comes to someone you're dating?
Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, just a level of drive. Like I'll say synonymously, ambition to me is like really synonymous with passion. Like you have to have something that makes you excited. Because I mean, all of that passion and ambition, it translates in other places. It translates in the relationship, the love life. It translates in how I can actually support something that you're excited about too.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
I love the ladies coming with these questions. I love it.
Tough questions though.
I love it. All right, so every lady seemed like they got a question in here, except my sister Phoenix. Phoenix, did you have anything before we went ahead to my next bachelor?
And no pressure, Phoenix. No pressure.
No
The ladies
pressure.
covered it.
I have a question for all the men who have children, actually. So I can wait until we get to another bachelor.
I mean,
because I know Gauntlet has one, but I know a couple of the other guys have children as well.
Hold on. Let Phoenix address the bachelors. I think this is
Go
valid.
ahead, go ahead and do your thing. What's your question for the bachelors?
So everybody has a different parenting style and just how they rear their children and what's important. And I want to know, as you all as fathers, and I was raised by a single father, so this is so important to me. As you guys as fathers, how do you move amongst your children? What are some of the do's and don'ts around how you rear your children and who you even have around your children? What's your parenting style? What's important to you? I know that's a broad question, but yeah. We have a lot of Instagram parents out here, so.
Oh.
Yeah. And I would never date somebody who's just an Instagram parent or who's just like, oh, I'm a parent on one day a week or one day a month or any of that. So it's important to know how you love your children because that'll show how you love the woman in your life too.
Listen, it's an open floor, fellas.
Say it with your chest.
All right, I'll answer the question. I don't mind answer the question. So for me, I'm a very, very hands-on, very involved, dedicated father. My girls mean the world to me. They're teenagers now, so I actually had custody of them for the past 3 years, but this upcoming year that just began, they went back to Texas to go to school with their mother. So for me personally, I probably couldn't move too far because I like to be involved. So like over the weekend, I probably go to Texas and spend time with them because not having my father in my life, that means a lot to me personally because I'm breaking every generational curse, every generational past. So that just means the world to me. Like I'm very much involved to them, not just physically, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, every aspect. I want to be there. So definitely.
There you have it. Which other my brothers got kids, man? I want to hear how y'all fathers out here.
Addressing everybody.
She calling all the fathers, all right? Where the fathers at?
You got some explaining to do.
You want me to go? I'll go. So Phoenix, that's a great question. I'm gonna be honest. I have one amazing son. He's 16. He was with me. Me and his mom are great co-parents. She and I are very good co-parents. He lives in Dallas right now. He's been there for 2 years, but he was with me for my last marriage. And when I tell you, he's a mama's boy. I was always a daddy's boy. I'm a junior. So as a first time father, I never knew how to make it perfect for him. I always protected him. I would make sure during the time of what's that guy's name, Trayvon Martin, the Ahmaud Arbery, like all the police unfortunate injustice that would happen to the kids. I prepared my son through discipline and through respect to make sure he can be ready for the world. But there's things that I fell short on, which was nurturing his heart because I wanted to make sure he was good. He's a very great kid. My parents are both from Jamaica. My dad passed 2011, but they're both from Jamaica, third world country. So when they moved to America, they all they wanted to make sure is that we were taken care of. We had a great education. We presented ourselves well, and that we were able to fit in society, being ourselves. So I actually translated a lot of that to my son, and my son is such a special kid. So I love him to life, but because he's been a mama's boy and his mama never did discipline for him, she calls him Bubby. That's my son. But I was the man that's like, hey, I want you to look people in the eye, speak up, right? Gave him everything that works to be able to go, but not the things that were nurturing his heart when he was little. Like I love on him and kiss on him, but I really didn't give him the best when he was little. So him and I, we really have a better relationship now because he looked at me as the disciplinarian. His mom, and credit to her, she literally asked for forgiveness on the phone with me and him because she said, you know what, I didn't hold down a structure for him. She let him be more free. So two different dynamics. You know, the Bible says, you know, God chastises those he loves. And I love my son to the point where I'm not going to let him just do whatever he wants. But now he's 16. So we have a better relationship. I love him to life. That's my ace. You know, I miss him, but it's to me, it's synonymous to my growth, even in the form of relationships, because there's a lot of stuff that I thought was right. And I'm learning a lot now. So I have a great love for my son, a great relationship, better, and just my first and only. I'm growing.
There you have it. There you have it. Thank you very much for that, Gauntlet. I think as far as kids are concerned, Benny doesn't have any kids. My last brother with some kids is Rob. Rob.
Yeah.
And by the way, do you remember the question?
Of course.
Okay, tell me about it, Rob. What's your answer?
Yeah, Phoenix, great question. I think that's important when you consider being with somebody who has kids. And that's something that, for me, all my children are adults. Youngest child is a sophomore in college, but I've been a parent for a long time, and I learned that each child is unique, and you have to really explore that with development. I come from a two-parent home. My dad was Navy, and my mom was the homemaker. I call her the COO, Chief Operating Officer of the house. And so I know that both of those positions, when it comes to parenting, are extremely important, and they have to be valued as such. So for me, being an example, probably for one, because the kids are going to look at you, regardless of what you say. They're going to listen to your conversation if they can, because they're nosy, and they're going to do their best to emulate what they see. So example would be number one. Like I said, treating each one of them uniquely so that each relationship is significant, because as they get older, they're going to remember how you made them feel. And so that's also something that I learned. And discipline, discipline is so important because we're in a world where, or an era where, if kids feel like they don't appreciate what's going on, they can make a phone call, they can tell somebody at school, college, whatever the case is, and then people on the outside can come to the inside, which, that's a whole nother topic. But I would say those three things, and making sure that they feel heard. So much goes on, so many influences outside of the home, social media, that type of thing. They just want to make sure that they're heard first and foremost, because if not, they'll stop telling you what's really going on in their lives. And that's something I take pride in. All my children know that they can tell me anything. A lot of it I don't want to hear, honestly, but I don't want that relationship to be tainted or to be downgraded. So I would say those four things are significant. And anybody that I'm involved in as well, I would hope that they have those same core values.
There you have it. There you have it. Great question, Phoenix. Thank you so much for asking that one.
Okay, I think we're ready.
get to the next couple bachelors on there, right?
I think all the ladies asked Gauntlet a question, and we even, ended with a group question.
Absolutely.
So I think everything has been addressed on that end. I think we're ready for the next
Oh,
one.
for sure. Let's go ahead and bring my brother Rob up here. Rob, I want the ladies to get a better idea of what you're looking for out here, Rob. What are you looking for in your next lady?
Yeah. So I'm 49. I'll be 50. So obviously so there's some things that come with that. I would say one of the main things is.
Wait, Rob, I want to make
sure.
sure.
Because your mic, and by the way, bear with us with Rob. The mic is not the best. I think you said you 49,
so
going on 50.
grown.
So you said you full grown. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I want to make sure I understood that, but go ahead.
Yeah, almost 50. I'll be 50 this year. What I'm looking for is I'm actually looking for a companion, a partner, someone that actually understands where I'm at in life. I've been through a lot. But all my children are adults. Mission and purpose is everything. So we have to be complementary what's going on. So she has to be confident in the position that I am. And, really, I love my woman to be fine. I'm gotta be fine. My eyes. So, having attraction to each other is really important. Even though looks fade, you still want to have that natural instinct that you're attracted to your partner regardless of what's going on. So I would say those are the main things. She has to be ready to round. I'm an empty nester. I've been this for 2 years now. So those are the main things, that just try to understand and complement each other's lifestyle. Chemistry is so easy. These women are absolutely gorgeous on here. Compatibility also be something that you can work on. But that work ethic is everything to me, because if you're not all in, it's not gonna last. So I just like to make life simple.
There you have it. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the floor for my ladies here, and you shouldn't have any problem. Shout out to my man, said he like I'm fine. We did you a big favor. You're welcome. Okay, you're welcome. So with that being the case, I want to open up the floor for my ladies too. Ladies, did any of you guys have a question for Rob? If you did, don't hold back. Jump in there. Ask your question.
Oh, wow.
Okay, no questions for Rob.
Left him speechless, Rob. I don't know if that's good or bad. Okay. So I guess we got no questions here for brother Rob.
You ready?
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and move on to my brother Benny here. Pull Benny up here on the screen, man. There you go. Benny coming straight up out of Chicago here. Let's go ahead. I want to ask you the same thing I've asked these other brothers, Benny. What is it that you're looking for in your next woman?
God-fearing, probably the most important. I'm pretty much open, man. I'm just like the other gentleman. I just turned 48, and so God-fearing, someone to build with. I want to build with my woman. So there's some things that I feel like accomplishments that I would like to work on. I'm pretty sure she does too as well. And so I want to build that and make that happen. So a builder, God-fearing, just like the other gentleman said, fine too as well. But, fine on the inside is probably more important than on the outside.
Definitely.
To be honest with you. So those like the three personality rise, beautiful personality. I love the woman that loves to communicate, loves to talk. I like to talk. And so those like the top ones for me. A great communicator, a builder, God-fearing. So far, yeah. So that's like the top three right there. Yeah.
That's important. And Benny, I know you mentioned God-fearing woman a couple of times. Are you in church now?
I am. I'm in church. I am saved. I am a Christian, but it's complicated. I don't want to associate myself to everything. That's a lot going on right now in Christianity and church.
Yeah.
So
No,
I try to.
I'm not trying to try you up, Benny. I just want to know. The reason I asked that is because I was just curious what your experience was with meeting women at church. If you actually were finding God-fearing women at church.
My experience. Oh man, that's a whole nother episode, right?
Okay. Got it. We won't jump into it. Then. Okay.
But I think my expectations might have been, I probably wasn't realistic. I probably wasn't balanced enough myself. My expectations probably too high. We are still human beings, even though we're in the church.
Right.
So I've learned that too as well. Or give people space to still be human. I learned that from therapy. So even though we're saved and and all that good stuff, man, I think we still should give space to humanity. And so that might have been my fault on that. That might have been my fault on that. So again,
There
I
you
just
go.
turned 48. So you live and you learn. And so there are some realistic things that we should balance even in the body of Christ. Sex, you name it. There's some things that there should be a balance and not cut everything off because you're serving God, so to speak. There's some things that
Listen, we
there's some
gonna get into it. We gonna get into it, Benny, because we.
I didn't mean to. Yeah, I didn't mean to get on into that. My bad. But
No. You good.
Yeah.
Listen, I actually want to get the ladies here to go ahead and ask some questions for you now. Ladies, did y'all have any questions y'all wanted to present here to Benny?
Okay.
There you go.
So
Quiet floor.
Our next bachelor and final bachelor that we're getting to know is Eric. Go ahead and bring Eric up real quick, Delano.
Let the world know. What is it that you're looking, for in your next woman?
So I'm looking for someone that's purpose driven like myself, someone that's compatible. Compatibility is a big one. Because the temperaments and personalities and different things like that. Someone that, because I see marriage, as it has to be a purpose. I mean, attraction, all those things. So I'm looking for someone definitely that's optimistic, that's genuine, that's ambition, nurturing. That I understand everyone has feminine and masculine energy, but I prefer someone with more feminine energy. Or that's just, a lady. You know what I mean? Someone that's healed and self-aware, and someone that has values and that loves Jesus. Pretty much, yeah.
There you
And
go.
That it's okay with my children.
Okay. That's important. Okay, with your children. I get that. All right, let's open up the floor for the ladies. Ladies, did y'all have any follow-up questions that y'all want to ask for my brother?
I'll ask a question to get this going, get the conversation going.
Pop it off.
So I want to ask you, you mentioned that you like a woman who is a true lady. So as it relates to a healthy male-female dynamic, what does that look like in relationship with you? What do you expect? How do you expect your woman to show up? And how do you show up in a relationship as the man of the relationship?
Great question. What I mean by that, I'm traditional in some ways, some aspects, but I'm also, I would say, I'm evolved in a way where I understand that the traditional way, the man may take care of this, the woman may take care of that. And that's not necessarily my perspective. My perspective is, we're a team. And so what that looks like, I know of the traditional way, what they say, wives submit to your husband, but I believe that we submit one to another. So my stance is, as I submit to God, you submit to me, my wife submit to me, and there's a mutual respect for one another, So I lead, I consider, of course, I will make the decisions, but I don't just make decisions without considering what my wife would say. So that's kind of my way of leading. I understand that the wife is a helpmate, so I would take her thoughts in consideration with everything we do. I mean, that's just me, because I was married for 6.5 years. So I learned a lot from that experience, and I took, the knowledge. I took a lot of lessons from that, and to be honest, I'm just showing up as a better husband now. So right now, I'm already a husband. I'm just looking to attract a wife.
There you have it. Thank you for that question there, Krista. Any of you other ladies got some questions?
I actually have another question that's it's a group question, because I think most of the men here have said that they are Christian or are looking, which makes me assume that they're looking for somebody who's Christian. Have any of you ever
Wait,
explored?
now hold tight, Phoenix, because this is the thing. We learning pretty fast. Some group questions, they take a little bit too long. But that's
It's like
okay.
a little bit too loud. Okay,
No,
okay,
no,
never
listen,
mind.
no,
Okay.
listen.
But
No,
save that.
that-
We're gonna have some group conversation. So just save that question.
Yeah, we got the discussions
Okay,
coming
okay.
just shortly here.
Yeah.
But no, honestly,
Okay.
you are about to ask a really, really great question, actually. So we're gonna definitely get into that, as Faith, obviously, you
Right.
can see, has been an essential part of all of these brothers' qualifications and what they're looking for. But what I want to do is actually get to the ladies now. So let's actually go back around to the ladies, because the guys might want to know a little bit more about my ladies as well. Let's
Who
actually
wanna start
start with Phoenix. Since Phoenix the one that got these questions, start with Phoenix here. Because Phoenix, I want to know, what are you looking for in the next man you bring into your life?
And this is what we'll do too. Hold tight before you answer that, Phoenix, because like I said, we learning fast. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a minute on the clock. Go ahead and bring Phoenix up, put a minute on the clock, and run that question back to Phoenix.
Yes. So, Phoenix, what is it that you're looking for the next man in your life?
Yeah, so I am looking for someone who I'm emotionally compatible with. And what that looks like is, you know, they don't expect their woman to be superwoman. They expect for her to be human and accept that she has greats and flaws, right? I also would want someone who has started on their healing journey, have gone through their various levels of therapy, someone who has a high level of self-awareness and emotional intelligence, and someone who's actually okay with being loved. You run into a lot of people who actually don't know how to receive love, and that's a requirement that they've healed themselves in their heart, so they're actually able to receive the love that they really, really want. And then, of course, someone who intellectually can meet me at the floor, and they have a level of depthness in spirit and about life.
Okay.
Incredible. I mean, that was pretty thorough here.
Well articulated, for sure.
Absolutely. I want to know which of my brothers here want to have a question for Phoenix here. Does anybody want to go ahead and dig a little deeper in what you see about this young lady?
Yeah, I have a question. How long have you been on your therapy journey?
I started therapy at 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I started because I believe it's a practice that you do off and on as sort of a mental maintenance to make sure that the traumas or interesting things that you go through in life, that you are able to tackle them as they happen. So the fact that I've used maintenance, almost how some people I guess use maybe their sessions with their counselor or even their pastor, right? You use it as a form of maintenance to just make sure that the things that you're experiencing, especially when you're in spaces like the workspaces I've been around the globe, sometimes you experience things or see things that could be traumatizing to your senses or break your heart. And sometimes you just need a safe space to process those emotions. So literally since I was 19, I have been in therapy off and on. Yeah.
There you have it.
Wow, incredible.
There you have it.
And guys, listen, all my lovers in the chat, I want you to go ahead and send over your super chats, because I know you guys got some questions. I know you're throwing some things out there. I'm going to pick only the best questions to follow what these singles about, because I saw some good ones in the chat, but you got to send over the super chat for us to ask those questions.
Yeah, so you guys go ahead, throw them out. We'll ask some of them. We'll read them all on the show, by the way. So send the super chats over. We'll read them on the show. And I also want to see in the chat who y'all think will be matching up here. All right? Who y'all think is some potential matches that we have here. But let's get back to my brothers here. Did any of you brothers also have some questions for Phoenix before we moved on to my next bachelorette?
Yeah, I asked her a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, Phoenix, I liked everything you said, actually.
Thank you.
Like everything you said, and I kind of feel the exact same way. So, so what's your longest relationship?
It was my marriage. So I was I was a wife before I was a woman. I always say that because I was proposed to by multiple people, and I chose my husband. I was 19 years old, and we were together for 7 years. And I've been divorced now for about 12 years, but that 7-year relationship and marriage was my longest relationship.
You married real young.
I married very young. Yeah, I married very young. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything that you're saying makes total sense. That you've gone through that process of therapy, healing, reflecting. Yeah, and I've gone through a similar journey as well. So that definitely caught my attention.
Good.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
There you have it. There you have it. Hey, listen, any other questions, fellas, before we move on to the next bachelorette?
Okay,
All right.
next up. Who we got next up?
Whoa, hold on, wait.
Somebody got
I think Rob actually was about to say something.
And
Where were
listen,
you?
and fellas, y'all don't have to wait. Y'all don't have to ask permission at all. If you got a question, go ahead and throw it out there, and we'll give each person has one opportunity to ask the question.
There you have it. Go ahead, Rob.
All right, Phoenix, you talked about the importance of emotional connection. Would you say that when meeting a new person, sometimes you hold back just because of maybe disappointments? And if so, what method that you use now when you see that there is a possible emotional connection?
Good question. So actually, I've been somewhat of a serial monogamist. So no, I don't go into new spaces holding the new person accountable to what has happened in the past, because that absolutely, to me, mentally doesn't make sense, and it's not actually fair. And no one that I've ever been with have been the same. So it would be impossible to hold person B to the standards of issues of what I may have had with person A. However, I do have certain ways of gauging whether or not someone is emotionally compatible with me. And it usually starts with, how do they respond if I text them or call them and mention that I've had a bad day, or that I'm dealing with something with a team member, an employee, or a family member. How do they respond to me just saying, hey, I'm not well in this moment? That tells me everything that I need to know about whether or not we are emotionally compatible. I know some women think that, and men think that, like, they don't need to share and be vulnerable with the person that they're with. But I test and share a little bit of vulnerability in a moment to see how they respond to it, to know, can this person hold space for me when I need it most? Because I know that I'm very good at making other people feel safe, but can they do the same thing? So it's usually like little.
Now check it out. So listen, we're going to keep it at 60-second responses, okay? Now we're going to start the actual clock this time on the response, not on the question. So we'll keep it going. But first of all, I mean, Phoenix is thorough, so she gonna break it all the way down.
Now we're gonna talk to
She gonna break it all the way down. But the only reason we implemented that is so we could really get through my singles while addressing all my questions. I think that was the last question. So we're gonna move on to my next bachelorette on the stand here, which we have Anastasia. Pull my sister Anastasia up, because Anastasia, we want to know what you're looking for in your next man. And take off mute.
Anastasia.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second, Anastasia. 1 second. I think we
Now
got
we
you.
ready.
There you go. We ready for you
let's
now.
do it.
Go ahead,
Let's do it.
Anastasia. What you looking for in your next man?
Thought we was friends. I'm an OG. Really ultimately comes out to being my best friend. As you come across different people in life, you're going to find different qualities in every person that you come across that you appreciate. So definitely for me, it's just somebody that we're able to give each other that safe space. We're able to be friends. So the same way that I pick up the phone and I want to tell my best friend something, I want to be able to tell you that same thing with that same type of confidence, knowing that you are there to receive that in return. So just someone who understands reciprocal energy, and that I can just be myself with and be goofy. And I want them to be able to be themselves too. We're not perfect people. So definitely, understand communication, understand that we all have flaws, and just being willing to not only accept your own flaws, but accept mine as well.
Okay.
There you have it. There you have it.
Now, fellas, you got any follow-up questions for Anastasia?
All right.
Yeah, I do. Do you have kids, or are you open to having kids?
I do not biologically have any children. I can have children, but I have 2 adopted girls, and I would like at least 1 child of my own.
All right, cool.
So,
I have a question.
and Benny, you asked that because you're looking to have children.
Yeah, I am open to having children, and if she already have a child, that's fine too as well. But I am open to having children. Yeah.
Understood. And we got somebody else with a question.
There you go.
Yeah, I got a question. Hey, so Anastasia, I really find that to be super admirable. What, as far as being able to adopt two kids, two girls, beautiful girls, what was the lead for that? What caused you to do that? That's admirable. Like, what was the heart posture for that?
Good question. Good question.
I honestly never thought about it. I did it because it was from my heart. I've been in both their lives since they were born, and their mother was my childhood best friend. So when she passed away, it wasn't a question of whether I want to be there. I had always been there, and they knew me. And I believe every child deserves to have someone for them, regardless of whatever the situation was.
That's love. Yeah.
Incredible.
First of all,
We got some immaculate ladies on here.
it's some immaculate ladies on here tonight. The
Wow.
character is on 10.
It really is.
Fellas, y'all better act right because they DMs are flooding as we speak right now.
Yeah, and we getting emails and DMs after our last couple of shows. The guys
Yeah.
asking about the ladies asking about the guys. This is the thing. Everybody's Instagram profile, and we asked specifically, and I don't know if they just got them open for a limited time or not. You have to ask the guest, the singles, but everybody has their profile public, and everybody's profile is in the description in case you want to do some further investigation.
There you have it. And here we go. I want to get to my last bachelorette before we move into the discussion where it gets fun, guys. We have Chris here who's been sitting here so nervously poised. I hope she shook those jitters off as we get over here to her. Chris, tell us what you're looking for in your next brother.
I can do that. I am looking for someone, a man's man, first of all. He needs to be a man's man. And I want him to be chasing after God with all of his heart. He has to be incredibly brilliant. Like, can I talk to him about anything? I am a bit of a business nerd myself, so he has to be ambitious and be going after something with all of his heart. And I want to be able to talk to him about that. I want to be able to travel with him. I want to be able to eat amazing cuisine and appreciate art. I love music. I love ministry too. So I've been raised in the church and I have a very soft spot for ministry. So being comfortable with attending church regularly and doing some sort of ministry with me is kind of a part of my love language. So yeah.
There you go.
I like that.
Man.
Okay.
Fellas, speak now, forever hold your peace.
500 people,
Yeah,
close to 500 people in the chat, by the way. Go ahead.
Oh, you know Benny gonna pop it off.
I got a question. You said something about ministry. Do you have a title? Are you serving? Are you like a pastor? What's your level of ministry? Are you just do you like serve in church, or what did you actually do in ministry? I'm curious to know.
So I serve in church. Yes, I've had several different titles. I've been in church since I was a little girl. My parents are actually pastors, so it's all I know. I prefer not to have a title and just serve wherever is needed. So yeah.
My parents are pastors too as well. That's why I asked when you say.
Okay, so you're a PK.
Yeah, I'm a PK too as well. Yeah.
Incredible. Okay. And hey, look, great question there, Benny.
Benny taking notes.
Right. Look, Benny using that one question.
I'm looking at the chat. Y'all better send them super chats. I want to read them super chats, but they basically said Chris over there getting money with them ceiling the floor windows over there.
That's what they said. That's what they said. She said, I ain't blurring this background. Y'all about to see this.
Right.
And I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. Hey, listen. Go ahead. But listen, fellas, anybody got a question before we move into the discussion?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead, Eric.
Get it, Eric.
I actually have this question for all the ladies, if we can answer it. But it's what is your love language?
The love language itself or the order? Because there's 5 and they actually come in orders.
Right. So what's your prominent, dominant, secondary? Yeah.
Let's get the number one. Because I want, we can go ahead and get through all the ladies on this one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Number one love language. And Anastasia, since you spoke up, we'll start with you.
Quality time.
Quality time.
Chris.
Same, quality time.
Okay.
Krista.
Words of affirmation. Words make me melt.
Okay.
Phoenix.
Same, words of affirmation, definitely.
Wow, even split.
There we go.
Now, Eric, what does that mean for you?
Hey, so what that means is one of the things I learned being married is oftentimes we're love based off our own love language. So one of the things that you need to know is your partner's love language so that you can love them accordingly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And by the way, what's your love language, brother?
It used to be words of affirmation, but as I was healed, it's changed more to quality time. Quality time is probably my primary right now.
Okay, quality time.
There you go. There you go. And by the way, I want to ask here because I know we are, or my sister Chris here. Was that the last question from my brothers, or did we got somebody else?
I have a question for her.
Okay, Rob, you got to listen. I'm gonna need you to be. You're gonna have to be brief and brilliant, just so because sometimes you might cut out. So the more brief and brilliant, we could most likely hear that message that you have, brother. So go ahead and give it to us.
All right. So the question is, do you feel like a long distance relationship is something that would work for you? And if so, what would that look like since you have a strong foundation in your city?
I don't have a strong foundation in my city. I'm actually a California girl. Okay. So if God says that he's the one, I'm on a plane in a jiffy. So I wouldn't worry about that. But long distance relationships, I think can work. It depends on the frequency of conversation and the purpose, the reason it's long distance.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Okay.
So there you go.
This is the thing. I think we're good here.
We are good. I'm just ready to get into this discussion too. I'm very excited about this.
We getting ready to hit 500 people in the chat, so this is actually pretty phenomenal. And I think we got a chance to meet the singles.
I think we forgot somebody.
Nice.
Wait. We didn't. How we miss Krista?
Oh man.
Krista, I'm so sorry, Krista.
We got a little lost.
First of all, hold on, wait. This for Ryan right here. All right, we got to get Ryan right. All right, Krista, please, Krista, bring Krista up here.
Yeah,
because I gotta know Krista. I gotta know what you looking for in your next man.
And I'll keep it brief and brilliant, as you say, Tyshawn.
Oh,
but I come from a very traditional family. My parents have been married for 50 years. So I believe in that traditional dynamic. I come from a very God-fearing family. So that's something that's important to me. I believe it was Rob that was saying that purpose is something that's very important to you. And the same for me. I'm a career coach, a Christian career coach. And so I lead with purpose. And there's nothing, and ladies back me up on this. There's nothing more attractive than a man who is operating in his purpose, who has a close relationship with God, who understands what his calling is, and is here comfortably, aggressively going after impacting God's people in a positive way. So that's something that I really look for. I'm also looking for a really healthy, masculine man, someone who understands what it means to be the head of a household. And this may sound weird.
That's your time. That's your time, Krista. That's your time.
No, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna talk because listen, you was cooking though.
Right.
I think we get
and
what you want.
And Chris and Krista both mentioned masculine men, so we got to get some definitions of what that.
Oh yeah, and then we gonna. I want to know if she, later on we gonna see if she sees some masculine men on the set here as well. But brothers, what's up with it? Y'all got some questions for my sister Krista?
And look, we learning, right? So if y'all want to ask, Krista a follow-up question on what she was getting ready to finish, that's fine. But we're gonna do two maximum of 2 questions, follow-up questions for each single. So guys, you got to speak up if you want to ask this question.
Let's get it.
What's the definition of a masculine man?
He done stole Ryan's question.
I have no problem with that. I think that's valid.
Hey, that's a good question. Go ahead, Krista.
Question. That is a really good question. And this is actually what I was going to say. A masculine man, a nurturer, someone who understands what it means, because I'm marriage minded, what it means to be a husband. It really does have to do with identifying in your family, your wife, your significant other, your children, what their thing is, and then nurturing it, sowing seeds, giving them opportunities to shine and giving them the tools, to shine. But then also, I love a romantic man, someone who I can flirt with forever, So, Rob, I'm going to keep throwing this to you because I was nodding in agreement every time you said it, but I love a man that I'm attracted to, just on that very human level. So that God-fearing, someone who has a strong vision, a strong purpose, so that he shows up as a proper leader for the family.
And just in time as well. We got one more question, fellas. Who's gonna pop it off?
All right, I'll pop it off.
Go ahead, Rob. What's your question?
All right. For somebody, you as a brand, a business owner, what would be the number one expectation of your man that he needs to understand with your position right now as your future partner?
The number one expectation is, because I am a Christian career coach, my atmosphere on a day-to-day basis, because I'm pouring into other people, is so important. And so I don't have a lot of room for arguing or, extended arguments or tense moments before I get onto a call with a coaching client. So someone who is good with, if we have an issue, very quickly addressing it, getting back to the good stuff. So someone who is very in tune on a spiritual level to the atmosphere of it all.
There you have it. Way to go ahead next. That was a great question, Rob. The brother, first of all, shout out to everybody, because everybody came in here today, asked some great questions. We got some beautiful singles on here today, intelligent singles on here today. A lot of them got some great things going on for themselves, but now it's time to go a little deeper in this discussion. And keep in mind, guys, the discussion is sponsored by your own Hardly in Love dating cards. We are pulling cards straight from the Hardly in Love deck to inspire some conversation so we can find out if, all right, we have some chemistry and connection here on the set.
Don't forget to use that live promo code for your discount. And let's open it up, Tyshawn. So it's really time to find out, like you said, who's got some chemistry.
Yep.
And what we're going to do, we're going to open up. Benny.
Who's saying hello? Benny, can you hear me?
Yeah, it was going in and out. I don't know if that was me or you guys.
Benny, Benny, listen, that's your Wi-Fi.
Right now.
That's your
Okay,
signal,
my
man.
bad, man.
Okay.
My apologies.
Look,
Okay.
get your Wi-Fi together in the background, Benny. Okay, don't disrupt our show for you. Jack your
My
Wi-Fi.
bad, man. I apologize.
No, Benny.
You good, Benny?
Listen, we're actually going to kick off our first, roundtable conversation.
Absolutely.
So this is an open conversation, guys. Don't forget, we want you to be assertive and upfront with your opinions and your perspectives on whatever we talk about. And you do not have to ask for permission. If you want to ask a follow-up to somebody who just, had the floor, that's totally fine. We'll add the timer in as needed. So don't even worry about that.
Yes.
And Tyshawn, go ahead and get ready to drop the question. But are y'all ready? My singles, are y'all ready?
We ready? Yeah.
Let's do it.
There you have it. All right.
Lionel,
pull up our very first question of the night. Again, sponsored by Hardly in Love. The question for tonight's Party of 8, guys, is what is a woman's role in a relationship? Okay.
Ooh.
And I want y'all to keep it 1,000 with us. Keep it absolutely real. Got the women talking about they want a traditional man, a masculine man. All right. People talking about they want a MOG on the set. Let's talk about the ladies' role in a relationship. Y'all don't have to be shot. Jump in there. You can ask your own follow-up questions. We are Fading to Black. It's your show.
A woman's role would be to be fruitful and multiply. And that doesn't have anything to do with children in my aspect. So fruitful, meaning what she's doing, her purpose, her mission, which is to nurture and to multiply, meaning me as a leader, I have to bring so much to the table so she can multiply it, meaning energy, purpose, finance, business sense, spirituality, emotions. She multiplies those things. So that puts me on my toes that I have to come on a positive aspect with growth and development in the relationship.
Can the women, is this for the men to answer?
This is for every, y'all. Okay. Let's hold on. Wait, you know what? Let's set this. Y'all are sitting at a round table eating dinner right now.
It's
okay.
a party of 8.
It's the party of 8. Y'all are all friends at a table. The card deck has been popped off. The question is out, and we discussing. We might be fussing. We might be loving. We might be fighting. It depending on where you stand on this.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and give us your thoughts.
Okay, so I live by the moniker because I do have a son who's 18 in college. I live by the moniker that a man is what his mother makes him to be, which I believe that a woman can be a king killer or a king builder, and there's usually no in between. So with that, I feel like a woman's role is not only to be the nurturer and to be the emotional temperament of a household, but she's also the neck. The man can be the head, right? And he can be the one in leadership, but he can't turn left or right without that woman who is the guidance and sort of his muse and inspiration and the seer. A queen is like the most powerful piece on the chessboard, so she can go and maneuver in places that maybe that you can, and women are intuitive. So I think we can use our intuition also on behalf of maneuvering and building and creating and manifesting for our families. And I believe a woman can encompass all that with her spouse and with her children. At least that's what I believe that's my role to be.
Fellas, I'm just
Okay.
very curious. What do y'all think about that? Is that fitting of what you guys had in mind?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
It's,
absolutely
it's a
agree.
little it's a little touchy at times, especially with the the millennials, the Gen Zs, the what do they call it, Generation Alpha.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that for me, I would want a woman to understand like she's almost like the physical Holy Spirit. She's a prophetic person in my life. She's someone who, like Rob was saying, is a multiplier. We go out and hunt. We bring the food back. She makes a meal. We have a house. She makes a home. And it's really, I've noticed that most women really operate at their best when they're really able to be in their soft life, be able to feel secure emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. And it's not much that a man really needs or asks for if the man has vision and purpose and he's ambitious. So a woman who just sees the need of the one who she can be led by, the one that she can feel is someone who would love her and want her opinion to matter, want her words to land somewhere where it can be received. I think it's easy for a woman to be a woman if a man is really the man that God made, a purpose-driven man, a man who understands the heart of Christ and has integrity, has character. So a woman's role is really just be able to be, for me, I want to be able to love my woman to the point where it nurtures and blooms and blossoms the best version of herself. Really, it's like we shouldn't have to ask for much, or we shouldn't have to demand much or command much from a woman if we're doing what we're supposed to do as men. So a woman's role is not really complicated. It's like naturally, innately, they do what they do if we do what we do.
That's
Okay.
good. That's
Did,
good.
but did anybody
I would-
mention cooking yet? Y'all cooking?
I was gonna say the multiplier that applies to everything. If you bring home a little bit of ingredients, we multiply that across the table. You bring home a business idea, we're gonna multiply that intellectually and expand that into other ideas and concepts. You give us a seed, we multiply that into a human. I have a 18-year-old son who is a freshman in college, and he would bring home any little idea, any little passion, and I'm just watering it to multiply that. If you bring home a concern or an issue, something that you feel like is coming at you from a negative perspective, I'm going to multiply that hedge of protection around you with prayer. I'm going to multiply the faith, the little seeds that we already talk about in our Bible studies. I'm going to multiply those positive thoughts to counteract what you might be experiencing out in the world when you leave the home. You come home, it might look like little that you drop off. When you come back home, you're going to be like, girl, what you did? How you multiply all this? That's definitely the theme for the answer of a woman's role, the multiplier. Whatever you want to put in my hands, we multiply it.
And fellas, I want to know. I mean, have you fellas been having a hard time finding a woman to play the role that you envision a woman to play in your life? Have you guys been having a hard time finding that?
I think there's different levels in far as relationships. Because obviously you finally, you meet a person. Obviously, that's a level. You're trying to get to know the person. That's a level of relationship. You're trying to see if this is a good fit, and then you go to the proposal. Then you go to, obviously, you go to the commitment relationship. Then obviously the proposal, and then the marriage. So I think there's levels. I wanted to clarify when we was using the term relationship. I didn't know what type of relationship. Are we talking marriage? Are we talking about, girlfriend, boyfriend? And that would determine her role as what to take place as far as a role. because there's no reason for her to play a wife. We just, I just now, getting to meet her. So, that's not fair. So I guess I wanted to know I guess to me, there's levels in far as a relationship. That's just my opinion.
I mean, if it's different, Benny, I mean, you just kind of give what you think the difference is between the two. But obviously, it's going to be some, wifely and husbandly roles. Once you take the step to marriage. But just, matter of fact, just give us in general, like if you dating somebody and is getting a little bit serious. What are some things that you looking for from them to prove that they're gonna be able to handle the next role in the next phase of the relationship?
Man, seriousness. If we're going to the next level, definitely commitment. Our language has changed, our communication has changed, and there's definitely some building going on. There's some commitment. We talking finances. We sharing numbers. We're definitely trying to see if this is a good fit, practical. Man, we're talking about sex, obviously. That's going to be a good conversation to have. And so, yeah, we definitely having some. We're seeking therapy, couples therapy. That's very important for me too as well. Counseling, that's another one too as well. So things of that nature is what I would be, looking forward to see if she'll be, willing to do those things.
So I'm gonna read this to you guys because I want to, we getting some answers, but I'm not sure if this is actually helping the people kind of learn what it really what people really want in a relationship. So I'm gonna read this real quick. It says a role refers to the part or function of an individual or group assumes in a particular concept. So let's talk function.
So
Functionally, what is a woman's role in a relationship? Like what is her major functions?
So this is where I wanted to interject. I was waiting for everybody to be done talking, because it was more role-based, and not only was it more role-based, we've had a lot of discussion on femininity and masculinity. So the way I look at relationships is like the lion's pride. So if you know anything about the lion's pride, the male is the protector. He is the leader. He is the one who stands front to make sure that everyone behind him is taken care of. But when he is away, the woman steps up. The female is the one who runs the hunt. She runs the house. She runs their unit. She's the one that makes sure that they are successful. But when that male lion is present, she steps back and she gives him his role to lead. And I think that's where people get misunderstanding on what the role is. It's where the leadership stands. And a lot of men have not come to the understanding that leadership comes with trust. And a woman being submissive to you comes with trust. We have to know that we are protected, that we can be vulnerable with you, and that we have the opportunity to be ourselves. So then that way we can step into that soft femininity and show you that side of us, that nurturer.
Okay, so now we get into the specifics.
We're cooking a little bit.
Cooking, right.
We're cooking a little bit. Okay. So, fellas, when you hear Ryan talk function, more specifically to the function aspect of what that actually looks like, even on like a day-to-day basis, like how she operates that role in your life. Can anybody break it down with some specificity and really talk about what's important there? Okay. Because obviously we single. So this is an important role, probably the most ever important role we're going to fill as a man. What does that look like?
All right, I go. For the role, I would say, I agree with a lot of what they already said when they spoke with the roles, but nurturing for sure. Nurturing, if there's children involved, and they would maybe have some children, so nurturing for sure the children. The cooking, they both can share that duty. It's not necessarily a role that has to be for the woman. But the other thing is, I would say, also nurturing. I would say support for the man. Support, just being there, you know, as a means of support when he comes home from work. Someone to talk to, you know what I mean? His peace. Just being able to just engage and just having stimulated conversations. I would say, you know, and all this, of course, depends on the individuals because they would have to connect on the intellectual level. So, but I would say from a day-to-day, you know, cleanliness, that's important. I was cleanliness, like making sure the house is clean and maintaining that. That's a major one. But that'll be a role. But I mean, also, you know, the husband could help with that as well.
So here's what we're going to do now. Here's what we're going to do, guys, because we got a couple super chats getting dropped in here. I want to quickly ask these super chats that's rolling in here. Then we're going to get to the next Harley in Love card. Slave of Christ is in here again, getting spicy. First of all, listen, you asked like 6 questions here. We can't ask like all 6 of these questions because it's very difficult to get 8 perspectives from 6 different questions. So we'll go ahead and just pull one of these out. All right.
So real quick, shout out to Alicia Richards who sent us over a super chat, and again, shout out to Slave of Christ who sent over quite a few questions. I think you want to pull the first one. Are you Christian?
No. Well, how about this? Because it's actually, you know, the funny thing is this kind of goes into the question that Phoenix was trying to ask. So if put it like this, state what you believe, and then tell me what that means to you. That's all it is. Okay. So because not everybody here is a Christian. So he says if you are a Christian, explain what that means in your eyes. But if you're not, still explains what that might mean to you as well.
Yeah, and let's just make these questions specific. If y'all could send your super chat and send the question to a specific person, because it'll just kind of be all over the place if we just ask everybody.
That makes a lot of sense.
So let's pick a person for Slave of Christ specific question.
You know what? That's a good one for Slave. Well, I mean, these are not really very specific. How about this? Slave of Christ, let us know in the chat who you want to go ahead and get this one to. Let us know who you want us to get that one to.
And in the meantime, do we want to, I mean, singles, I mean, have y'all heard enough about this general? Me personally, if I was a woman, you know, which I'm not obviously, but if I was, I would want some more specificity to what the woman's role looks like. And, you know, I just feel like we haven't heard that. So let's give the ladies the opportunity. Ladies, you know, outside of what Anastasia, you know, chimed in with, is there any other particular function that a man should be taking care of outside of protection in the household and leadership in the household?
Vision, 100%. Vision. If we're thinking about a traditional kind of household, the man is the chief strategist and the CEO of the household, essentially. So he's coming with the vision. As a woman, you know, as his partner, then we are here to multiply, maximize, expand that vision. So a very, very strong vision, a man with very strong vision is key.
Chris, I think that's excellent. I think that's actually behind why quite a few men are a little bit intimidated, you know, or just not as open to dating women that make more money. It's not because of the money. It's because of their vision cannot possibly see past how much money or what kind of opportunity this woman can already produce for herself.
That's a challenge.
So it's a challenge. So I tell guys all the time, you don't worry about the money. Worry about increasing your vision. Worry about seeing more for yourself, and the insecurities to kind of fade away after that. But if you don't see yourself doing any much than what you're already doing, it's going to be very difficult to date a woman who's climbing and taking care of herself and succeeding in these different areas of life.
So what he said to the people, he wants to ask that question to the people who are professing to be a Christian. So we got a couple people who are professing here. Let's actually go ahead and really put a timer on this one because I want to be brief and brilliant on these responses so we can get to the next discussion question here. But I think we're going to go through these.
Everybody that's Christian.
Right, for everybody. So that's still multiple. We'll go ahead. And Lano, can we get 30 seconds on this one? Is that possible? Okay, to address the super chats, because we got a few Christians here and I just want to make sure we can be clear about that. We'll start with my brother here, Gauntlet. My brother here just on the left side. I just like to start left to right. So Gauntlet, I want you to understand here what the question is. He says, if you are a Christian here, it says here, hold on, my brother put so many questions. Explain what it means to be a Christian in your eyes, and what's your understanding and belief of the Trinity Christ in the Bible. Really, just put what's your understanding and belief of being a Christian. Just keep it right there. Break that down for me in 30 seconds, and we're going to move on to the other contestants here so we can go ahead and address this super chat.
My understanding is Father, Son, Holy Spirit, 3 in 1. I sort of, if I could break it down to the reality of where we are in life, the Bible says no man can come to the Father but through the Son. I have a son of my own, just to make it clear. So you can't accept me and not accept my son. And my son is someone who I know will be another form of me. So Christ himself was a form of God in the flesh, son of God that became son of man. So he came on this earth to show us the love of God. So when you see my son, you should see the love of me as I raise him, and he should reflect me. So realistically, it's about following what Christ has given us and shown us on this earth in his time on this earth. So I stand on that. The principles that he's shown, the way he's loved, it's never failed me in my own relationship with him. So that's what I stand on.
All right, there you go. Go ahead. What you was gonna say, Ryan?
No, we good.
There you go. Chris, go ahead and give me yours right on top of him. Cue up 30 seconds. What does it mean to you, by the way, to go ahead and be a Christian?
To be Christian means that you believe that Jesus Christ died for your sins and that his love covers everything that you could do wrong, that you did wrong in the past, that you will do wrong in the future, and that you live your life every day trying to show him how much you love him by abstaining from things that come from your flesh and trying to live more in the spirit.
There you have it.
Good?
Yeah,
No,
listen. Only God knows that. I'll just play. But I don't really want to keep asking that question to everybody. Kind of take it somewhere else.
No, I get it.
But Slave of Christ, we appreciate you. But please, if we're going to ask the questions, let's make them specific to someone, so that way we can kind of throw one out and keep it rolling.
What I want to do actually is let's get to the very next discussion question that we have here prepared for the people, Lionel. So pull that next one up so we can get to the next one here. Check this one out, guys. Should you know your partner's sexual history? All right.
I like that one because we were trying to get a little politically correct on that last one.
We kind of was.
Yeah.
And guys, here's the thing, by the way. Y'all could leave. I told y'all before the show, but I might have to say it again. You can leave your representatives at home, okay? We're not politicians here. We're people tonight. So you can go ahead and say exactly what you feel, how you feel, and remember this. Say it with your chest. All right, so we don't have to, we could take the cap off tonight. So this is an important one to me, I know, but I want to hear y'all perspectives on this, guys. Should you know your partner's sexual history?
Yes. I'm going to jump in. I don't care. That has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with what we do together in the bedroom. So at the end of the day, you had to learn from somewhere. I had to learn from somewhere before we got here. Why are you worried about that? You should be worried about how I take care of you. We shouldn't be worried about what happened with the last person.
Okay. Keep it rolling. Listen, we don't got to stop.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead, lady.
Second. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I was saying I care more about the STD test to make sure everybody clean.
That part.
Yeah.
Okay. So you require an STD test?
I mean, I think everybody should know where everybody stands for sure. The body count, let that be what it needs to be. But if the test ain't clear, we not clear.
Okay. So it don't matter if she got 500 bodies as long as she got a clean test.
Hey, Ty, I won't even know. I'm not asking.
Exactly. And
really? I want to know. I want to know.
Wait, who want to know? Pull them up. I want to see who want to know.
My question is why? Why do you want to know? Why do you care? People go through different stages in their life. You got people who I got married young. Phoenix got married young. Once you get out, hello. So, why, you're in a new world, you're exploring life. So my question is why? Why does it matter? Why does it matter? If he's clean, he takes care of you. Why do you care that he learned to do what he did over there?
Well, I can tell you why. Because every time you lay with somebody, that's a covenant that you're forming. And I want to know what covenants are walking into my life with you, because I need to be aware spiritually of what I could be exposing myself to. It doesn't mean that you are still chained to those, because you could have done whatever work you needed to do to release yourself from that. But in 2025 now, you can be talking to someone who was sexually active with same sex, and that tells a different story to the success of your relationship. So you have to absolutely know. But then again, I'm more like cerebral. So I think about everything I'm doing. I have to know.
So it doesn't have to be body count, but I think the conversation about sex needs to be had. So we can move past the body count, but I think we definitely need to have a conversation about sex. So whatever that entails. So it's up to her to be vulnerable in that space and really. I mean, she doesn't have to, give me the body count, but I think the conversation definitely, obviously, needs to be had. So.
Well, Benny, I got a follow-up question for you. Shout out to Slave of Christ for sending this one over. Got down to a smaller group of people, but still, he says he or she wants to address all men. But we'll give this one to Benny. Benny, what is your view on sex before marriage?
Well, I was told to wait until we get married, as far as sex is concerned. So,
what is
that's
that? I
what
mean, we was all told that, but that don't. What does that mean?
It means what I just said. I was told to wait until.
Are you doing it? Are you waiting?
Yes, I actually am. Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Okay, just be clear about what that means for everybody, because I think that's a very important statement here. Because I think.
So you standing on business.
So have you been waiting your entire life?
I've been waiting my entire life. Yes, sir.
So
so
check this out.
This is an immaculate.
Is it safe for me to go out here and put it on wax in front of the entire world in the Harley and Love set that you are a virgin, Benny?
That is correct, sir.
Yes, sir. 1 in a million chance.
We got a 3-leaf clover here.
Initiated. This is excellent.
Wait, is it 3 or 4? Which one? Whichever one's the ones you can't find.
I appreciate the hand claps, but it ain't all what you think it is. I'm a little bit too old to be out here like this, but yeah, that's a whole nother conversation too as well. But yeah, I was taught to do that, and but my therapist, my doctors, and everything, is having a whole different conversation with me about that too as well. So
I already know,
because sexually healthy is very important, as well. So you do have to be healthy as far as in your sex life too as well. So maybe when I think it's meant as a younger person to obviously wait, get married young. I don't know if it's realistic to be in your 40s, late 40s, when you talk about being practical and being prepared for a wife. I just think that that's a little bit too old, in my opinion, based on the counsel that I've gotten and the therapy I've gotten. So I would share that too as well. So, but
Benny, listen, appreciate you for being open and honest. I think that's some really good perspective because, I mean, it's you like in between a rock and a hard place on that. But I'm curious to hear from the ladies. I mean, ladies I don't know what the question.
Well, I got the question.
Give me the right question.
Because check this out. I hear a lot of ladies, even the ones that respect men, that are sexually disciplined and want their man to wait, they still not really attracted or want a man that's a virgin. So when you hear that a man is a virgin, is that a turn on to you? Now, be real. I'm talking about, is that really attractive to you that a man has no experience that he's bringing into the bedroom, or does that pose a bit of a concern to you?
Can I
go ahead, please? Honestly,
I'll say this: I haven't come across a male version. I think since I was maybe 20, but I don't think there's anything negative about it. It's not a turn off or a turn on. I don't believe in the parameters that you have to wait until you get married to have sex, mainly because I feel like at a certain age of maturity, I need to know that we are sexually and spiritually compatible. And I can tell everything about a man through my sexual experience with him. Yeah. I can tell his whole life journey through my sexual experience with him. Yeah. And a man not having any experience, it doesn't really separate him from the men out there who've had a lot of experience, because there's more men out here who think that they know what they're doing, that they really don't know what they're doing. And they've probably been with 50 women. So I don't think that leaves him behind or out of the dust, because men ain't doing what they think they're doing out here in the universe. I'm just saying. So you are perfectly fine, Benny. And I'm sure that when you are ready to make that happen, you are going to be just as blessed in the bedroom as any other man who thinks he's blessed in the bedroom.
Right.
Mm.
All right.
And Phoenix states that, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, you stated that, you don't necessarily think you have to wait until marriage to have sex. So ladies, are y'all in agreement with that?
I'm not buying a car that I didn't test drive.
Hallelujah.
That is a
And this is
that is
from
a
someone who
strategy.
got married very young. I got married extremely young, but me and my ex-husband, we was dipping and doing before we I do'd,
Okay.
Had to make sure it was right.
See where the brothers stand. See where the brothers stand on
And
it.
well, we got to finish getting all the ladies, then we'll get
I get it.
the gentleman. But because I think that's a lot of what's stated is,
Yeah.
hey, I have to know what's going on with this.
I
in the
don't want to
sex
be
department.
sexually incompatible
Right.
in covenant.
Okay, so we got two. We got the answer of 2 or 4 ladies, Chris and Krista.
I'll go, Chris. I do believe in waiting until marriage. As a Christian woman, absolutely I do. I also do believe there are ways that you can identify if you have sexual chemistry with a man without having to test drive him. So I will say that.
Wait, break that down. Break that down. How you do that?
How do you
I
test
I
sexual
was just
chemistry?
about to say, what do you mean by that? Yeah.
Benny say, prove it.
Well, there are things that you can do. You can go, even dancing is very sensual. You can, I don't want to get too graphic, you guys. I'm going to get
Get
embarrassed.
graphic.
No,
Get graphic.
please.
Let me tell you something.
Please.
This is as real as a conversation.
Chris,
So
help me
I
out,
think should we
please.
start all conversations with sex?
Mine gonna be worse, so that's why I'm quiet.
Listen, speak your mind so we can get an idea.
Yeah,
This is for the,
Krista,
this is
Krista,
for the,
please.
this is for the real
You can
singles out
test
here.
You can test the chemistry. There are ways that you can test the chemistry. When you're next to each other, you can feel the heat. If it's there, if the chemistry is there, that's more than half of the situation. If you're on a very human male female level attracted to one another, technique and all of that stuff can be figured out at some other point. But there are ways that you can figure out what the chemistry is like without having to test drive.
She says how he rolled them hips. That brother rolling that waistline and rolling them hips. She like, I see some chemistry over here with this brother. Look, I can translate. I'll translate for you, Krista. Let me go to my sister Chris here, okay? Chris, what's going on with you? We waiting or not?
We are waiting. Yes. I also my faith is really high because I'm like, Lord, I need that sexual compatibility to be above what I can ask or think. So it's definitely the challenge of the walk. But yes, Chris is waiting.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Wait, who was that? Where that come from?
That sounds like Benny. Benny been holding this thing in for 40. He ready.
He's like,
No, you got 2 women that say they wait, and you got 2 that say they not. So I was just, yeah.
Can I share? Wait, can I gotta share something that just came up. I gotta share something with you guys really
What's
quick.
up,
I'm so
Phoenix?
sorry. I got
Share
this
it.
for a second. I went to college with this girl who had a couple of sex partners in college, but then in our senior year, she met a guy who was a preacher's kid, and she lied to him and lied to his family and said that she was a virgin. She wanted so badly to fit into the box of what she saw, and this man married her still thinking that he married a virgin. And so when I think about that, the pressure that it puts on people to be performative, I see a lot of Christian marriages that fail because of the performativeness of fitting into this box. You're trying to fit into this someone else's spiritual walk and a pastor's walk of what he told you should be. You never get to explore who you are on a soul level. And I see so many marriages fail because of these performative acts. And I think that, your truth is your truth, but also, be open to life, because I believe if God is who we think he is not going to punish you when he gave you this earth to explore life with, So just a thought.
Okay. Now I know
People out here
Anastasia-
lying about their virginity out in these streets too. Not you, Benny. I'm talking about other people.
That's horrible. And Anastasia, hold tight, because I want to get to the guys, and then we'll come back to you, Anastasia. But fellas, we already got where Benny is standing on this. I do want to get an idea, realistically, what's on your minds, what's going on. Are you waiting till marriage?
Yeah, honestly, Benny, I tell you, I admire you, bro. That's amazing. So Benny's right in the context of our faith, be it believers, Christians. We are supposed to, because the irony is this, Ryan Ty. If we never had sexual relationships with anybody, we would have nothing to compare and contrast. So immediately, if we were to be virgins all the way through and through, our first interaction would be a beautiful gift and experience with that other person who was just like us. So the fact that there's been some exposure and experience like Eve to the fruit, like we've been awakened to things that have unfortunately been perverted, which was supposed to be used in the form of connection and love and the function of reproduction. So I stand on what is true. I stand on what Benny said, and that's the grace that God has given. Is like when we fall and we feel like, yo, I messed up, we got to repent, which means turn. But I know for a fact that the passion of a person says a lot in how that can be used, because you got to be vulnerable, you got to want to serve. So if I'm willing to serve, ain't nothing I want to do for you.
Hold on, wait, Gauntlet. I want to be clear here though. Because that was he kind of hit me with that Barack Obama right now. Okay, let's Barack Obama and more
Gauntlet,
more TIP or something. So let's keep it real right here. Are you waiting or not? What's the situation?
No, I'm waiting. What I'm saying is I haven't always been perfect in my journey to waiting to get to covenant. But what I'm saying is that's my goal, is to be celibate. And obviously, be abstain. So yeah, I'm waiting, man. I gotta push forward. I gotta finish strong, bro.
Okay, so G is saying he's working on being abstinent until marriage. And G, so follow up real quick, because the whole point of this conversation was, should you know your partner's sexual history? So I didn't really get where you stood on that. Should you, is that important for you to know your partner's sexual history?
It's not important for me to know the sexual history. Like I said, it's important for me to know that the test is clear, because that's a part of the process to get to where we get to too. Because I don't want to take on something that literally can take on hurting me and hurting that person as far as our own body, our own human experience in our case. And I don't want that though.
Okay, understood. And Eric, we're gonna go with you. Except for Eric, we're gonna start it. We're gonna reverse it. Is sexual history important for you to know your partner's sexual history? And then where do you stand on sex before marriage?
I would say no, and I would say no from one that wouldn't want anybody holding my history against me, because I actually have a history. Before I was saved, before I was born again, obviously I have 3 daughters. But this new version of me, absolutely, I'm definitely, like, my intent, my heart is to wait. So I wouldn't be concerned, because I don't want that to alter the way I see her. And so no.
See, that was interesting. You don't want to know because
if you find out,
you did know, it would be some trouble. Is that what you're saying? What
I'm saying is, when you know that type of information, it can kind of do something with you psychologically. And so, so with me knowing myself also, I prefer if she's a better version of herself today, healed version, her past does not matter. All things have passed away. Guess what? All things have become new.
Yeah.
So I want to know this new version of you, and that's the version that I will be getting married to.
So okay, so for the brothers that are saying, and we're gonna come back to you, Rob. We're gonna come to you, Rob, in just a second. But for the brothers that are saying, that it doesn't matter, I'm gonna go ahead and take you as you are, that kind of deal. How do you, if you don't get an idea of her sexual history, how do you get an idea of what her decision making is like when it comes to, how she's moving in the streets?
You want me to answer?
Somebody help.
Now look, hey, right. Honestly, that's where I feel it's important to develop true friendship, man. It's like people put on when there's pressure for the sake of representation. I don't feel like that needs to be the case. We can talk about whatever, because if honestly, we can tell, we obviously know when somebody's lying. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I've been a virgin my whole life, because that's not the truth. But what I will tell you is I'm not where I used to be, and I'm not trying to go back there. So like E was saying, bro, if you are friends, if you are just being who you need to be unapologetically and you're comfortable, there's nothing that I will withhold from you. And there's nothing that should be withheld, man. It's really simple.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So now here's the thing. If you found out, though, if just so happenstance you found out that it was a high number, would you still want to move forward with a relationship with that woman? Assuming you were aware of that.
Yeah, we'll just go to the altar. We'll pray about it and talk to God, and we'll talk through it. You know what I'm saying? Because truth be told, shoot, if her number is high and I ain't tell her what my number is, we on the same page. It cancels.
Say damn good deal.
Gauntlet said he been in the gauntlet. He said he been in the gauntlet.
We gotta get Rob. Listen, let's get the Silver Fox on here. Let's get the Silver Fox. Chime in on this, Rob.
Rob look like a slayer. I ain't gonna lie.
Are these fellas? Are they tripping? Are they tripping, Rob, or are you on the same thing? It don't matter.
It don't matter, Rob. Let me know where you at with it.
Hey, if 100%, then they're not tripping. But I'm almost 50 years old. I've been married before. I've dated before marriage. I've dated after marriage. I went through, different phases of life, and I think I go through different phases of life. And what I mean by that is, sometimes, she's been through a relationship and it didn't go her way. She may be going through her "I'ma do me" phase. And so I need to know what phase you're in life, baby. I need to know. Like, if you in your whole phase and you need to get it out, if I'm one of your numbers, then keep it 100 with me. If you feel like you've been missing out in life, keep it 100 with me, because like you said, at some point, there's going to be some transparency through there. And I feel like if you talk to a woman long enough, she'll give you some indications of what happened. I've dated a young lady before, and we was cool and everything, and all of a sudden she wanted to have a conversation about how she was out there in college. Like, why? Why you telling me that you was out there in college, right? Or, I was out there in high school. Or somebody who was just married, right? You were just married, so you was like, yeah, my husband wasn't giving me any good sex. And then I found out that there was all this out here. So I'm glad that I got rid of him, and now I've been exposed to all this good. So I'm like, okay, then what number am I at this point? And so I think it's important to just know what phase, what stage that person is. And if they can be transparent, man, then I'm cool with that. But let's not pretend. And by the way, we can get it in before marriage, by all means.
Wow.
He stand where he stand.
And some of our Christians in the chat is absolutely going nuts, pulling their hair out right now when they hear this. Which, listen, I understand, because I was a smashing Christian not too long ago. I've changed, changing my life, and I'm still make mistakes every now and then. But
he's a recovering hoe. He's a recovering hoe.
Yeah, but this is the thing. This is just the reality of dating and kind of what it is, and everybody is not on. It's not. Everybody's kind of not in the same stages. So this is just real conversations, because I know a lot of y'all in the chat talking about what you should and should not be doing, but then you're doing the exact opposite of what you're sharing. So I applaud these singles for being very honest about how they live their life, and how they're going about making decisions, because this is what the dating reality actually is.
This is it 100% is, guys. And I think we got, for the most part, the perspective. Benny, and this is really interesting, because Benny, your version. So if you find out that a woman has had a sexually promiscuous past, I mean, is she seriously going to be somebody that's an option for you?
I mean, there was in the past, I think I was the one, obviously was the problem, but I was, again, sex always going to, the older you get, the more they expect from you. So sex always going to come up in a conversation. So again, it doesn't have to be body count, but I'm giving her space to talk about however she wants to talk about it, whatever that means. But the conversation definitely has to be had, and whatever that means as well. So I'm more realistic. I'm 48, obviously, so I can't continue to be daydreaming. And this is the real world. So in most cases, if 98% of the time, that people been with more than one person, so to speak. So, at this point, it doesn't really bother me.
Well, see, now here's the thing, because Benny, I use the word promiscuous intentionally, because I get that most people have had sex. Even in these people in the chat that's over here pulling their hair out, they got a body count. I don't care what they saying. I get most people done had sex, but here's what I'm asking in particular. If you found out that this was a large number, we talking about she came out clean to you. This your friend. Hey, look, Benny, I done had sex with 75 guys. Whoa, in my lifetime. Now I'm giving you the extremities of the situation, because what I want to feel for is if there are boundaries here in his sexual in his acceptance of a woman's sexual past. Would you be open to moving forward with a woman like that? Or would you want to have some even level of modesty in her sexual past and history?
I mean, that's where the God-fearing come into play. You know what I mean? I can't hold that over her head if she's told me that's what she used to be. You know, so I don't want her to hold things over my head what I used to be. I mean, I'm a virgin, but you know, there's some other things we all committed sin, so to speak. So I think that's where the role of as a God-fearing woman will come into play. And so long as she has a past, but now she's a new creature. So I would have to look at her from that perspective too as well. So I can't continue to hold that over her head. You know?
Now check this out, Phoenix. I want to ask this question over here to Phoenix, because Phoenix, you see, I got some, a lot of my brothers here are God fan. Rob said, look, it don't matter. He's smashing before he get married. That's just what it is. But when you see, we got people with different beliefs, different faiths in here, and you specifically, we communicated before the show. You told me you were spiritual, not necessarily Christian. Can you see yourself having a long-term relationship with a man who is Christian? Because there are Christian men on the panel here. Is that, a serious, is that an option for you?
So for whatever reason, I attract Christian men. And two of the proposals I've had in my past were with Christian men. And one, I decided not to marry him because 2 days before he proposed, I had a dream. God showed me a dream where he was going to become a pastor. And I was like, I'm not a pastor's wife. And I come across men who say that I'm more Christian than any Christian woman they've ever met, because I do live by a certain level of standards and values that I didn't have to get necessarily from the church, just what's within my own spiritual practice as a Buddhist woman. And I say Buddhist people make the best Christians because it's Christianity in practice with the work that we actually do. And to be honest, I could be with a Christian man. I've dated Christian men. I tend to attract super Christian men. But they have to also be open to the reality that everything that they're attracted to in me that they didn't find in the other women that they've dated and been chasing, that there's a reason why I'm the person that I am. And it's attributed to my spiritual journey and walk. And that if they love that, then they have to accept that I come with other teachings and other truths that I carry with me. Does that make sense? Like, you can't have this person without the path and the spiritual journey that brought me to be this person, even though it looks very different from what you are told is the truth. So can I date a Christian man? Yes, but he has to also be evolved.
And when you say evolve, be more specific. What does that mean?
He has to be able to understand that humans come with different truths and perspectives. Maybe he has learned some different cultures, different languages. It's like, okay, so Jesus is what you've chosen to follow, but do you really follow Christ? Because Jesus was everything and what he represented. But is the Bible the only thing that you ever have read? Have you ever read the Bhagavad Gita or the Metta Netter, or have you ever read the Torah or the Judaic Bible? Have you ever read anything else besides what you've been taught is the truth? So someone who, even if you've landed into Christianity and that works for you, I want to know that they are open to or have explored other cultures and deeper levels of truth as a Black man specifically, because I feel like Black men need something deeper that they haven't received. And they're willing to accept the food that I have to give them. That's what I mean.
Man, thank you for sharing and being open and honest, Phoenix. And this is a real question, especially with us, everybody pretty much stating they want a God-fearing woman, a God-fearing man. So obviously God is important. So that's a question that we just really can't dance around. I really want to get some perspective of the other ladies on there as well.
I think Anastasia has something to say about these things. And guys, send in your super chats. Lovers, everybody in the chat, send over your super chats. I mean, some of these chats are very, very good, but we cannot read them unless you send over that super chat. So send those ideas there. Yeah. And Anastasia, I think you had something that you wanted to mention. I think we said was going to come back to you. Take her off mute.
Take her off mute. And Anastasia,
be quick about that, Lano.
I'm here. I really appreciate you coming back to me. So I'm gonna pinpoint just off of a few different things. For one, just because I'm not waiting till marriage doesn't mean that I'm out here. So I'm actually waiting for a commitment of some sort, meaning we are exclusive. So we are building towards marriage. I have done the path in which, okay, we're going to wait and see how our chemistry works. And, to be a little frank, certain things were great, but then when we got to the business, it was, and I committed myself to that. So you got to be realistic with who you are and what you need from that. So Chris, when you bounced off saying about how you needed to know somebody's sexual history, I need to know, but that's a conversation of trust and vulnerability. So you're going to have those conversations where you're going to learn about whether they've done certain things, because if we're having a conversation about what I like and what you like, those things are going to start to come out. So you're going to know what people were out here doing. But I don't need to know who you did it with. I don't need to know why you did it with that person. I don't need you to come and say, I've been with this many people. What you do, we had to learn to get here. And so even though I'm not waiting until marriage, I do believe I want to wait for the person that I want to explore life with. And once I explore life, you are part of my life. I don't want to explore.
So Anastasia too, just so we can make sure you answer the question I just recently also gave to Phoenix. Are you open to, because you are a Christian woman. So are you open to dating? Are you men who are also Christian and not as well?
I think it's my job to show you God, but it's not my job to lead you to God. So, I show you the love that God gives to me. And so how you perceive that is completely between you and your faith. So, but I don't judge people off of what they believe. I just go with who you are as an individual. Now, atheists, absolutely not.
Understood. Okay. So it's just some level of a belief. Got it. And ladies, what about you? Chris, first of all, pastor's daughter. Oh man. I feel like I can guess it, but can you bring home a man that's not Christian?
I can no longer do that. I say no longer because I think when people say that they're waiting for marriage because they're Christian or they believe in God, that they are this cookie cutter person that just bakes cookies and goes to Bible study and reads How to Be a Proverbs Woman every day. That's not my story. Not by far. I mentioned before, I love intellectual men. Most of the most incredible, brilliant men are actually atheists. And I've dated several of them. Me and my son actually have a favorite passion area. It's called apologetics. We actually have a fun game where we can defend our faith to Buddhists or someone who, whoever, no matter what faith you come from or whatever background you come from, we like to actually have conversations with people from all religions and backgrounds because it's stimulating, it's educating, and then you have a more comfortable way that you can defend your faith very conversationally. And so he's only 18 and he sends me videos all day about apologetics. But anyways, I think my story is unique because I did grow up in the church. I saw a lot of things that I probably should not have seen. My parents were young when they had me. I was only 19 when I had my son. So you can imagine people growing up young, making a million mistakes. I moved out and was on my own at 16 years old. Ever since 16, have not returned home. So you can imagine lots of life struggles. I have put myself through college. I have 3 degrees. I have been married before, and I am obviously divorced now for 3 years. So I went through many phases, Anastasia, that I think my parents or whoever listening right now would not be proud of. And I have a lot of explaining to do to everybody and to God on Judgment Day. And because of those mistakes, I can say they ended me all in a very dark place, heading towards destruction. So because of that, I said, I can't do it my way. I got to do it his way. So this is not what I want to do. This is the only choice for me to live and thrive. I have to follow after God because he has shown me and smacked me upside my head several times and says, okay, you ready? So for me, that's the reason why. And I have experiences. I'm from Los Angeles. And so, I've had some experiences. I'll leave it at that.
Powerful
I
testimony.
Can't go. Thank you.
Powerful testimony.
Yeah, thank you for sharing
I
that.
see you. Eric is looking intently. Eric, what you think about that?
Listen, I respect everything she's saying. I have a similar story. Um, and I quote this scripture. You know, the Bible talks about when you've been forgiven for much, you forgive much. So because of my process and the things in my past and what God has given me grace and forgiven me for, it's just like my capacity and the way I process things is totally different. No judgmental. You know, I understand what people are. People, you never know what people are in that journey, in that process. So um, I don't judge nothing before the time, and so I definitely respect everything that Chris, you know, said, and I understand it because, like I said, I'm on a similar journey as well.
Are you open to marrying a non-Christian woman?
No, no, I'm not open to marrying a non-Christian woman because I'm called to ministry. Okay, so I'm a part of, you know, I wear many hats. So a ministry is something that's a part of my life. It's in me. I didn't ask to be a part of it. It's just a part of who I am as this new person. So whoever I'm with will have to be okay with that.
Okay. I mean, this is an interesting part of the conversation because y'all, listen, we getting close to ready to make some decisions. All right. So I'm really trying to get y'all whatever information at this point that y'all might need, because I sense that it might be some opportunity between my singles, but we got to ask the hard questions first. All right. How you feeling about what's going on right now?
Well,
Ryan?
I'm feeling good. I just dropped a poll. Should you know your partner's sexual history? I think that was probably the highlight of the conversation.
It was.
So far. And 65% of people say yes. And I think they share a lot of the same sentiments, I'm assuming. I'm just talking for the chat, you know, that it doesn't have to be specifics, but we kind of want to do some investigation to find out kind of how you've been moving, or at least how far removed you are from it.
Facts.
You know, so when I hear some of the testimonies, you know, like the testimony from Chris, I know she passed that.
Yeah.
She's gone past that. So I think that, you know, is more of the concern, kind of where are you at now?
Oh yeah. I mean, how you've moved sexually just says so much.
Yeah.
You know, how you've moved financially over the past year says so much. All of those decisions are tied to, you know, a very core aspect of you and at least who you were. If that ain't who you are. But if I'm going to know who you are, baby girl, I'm going to have to know who you were. And that's just me, right? But with that being the case, you know, I want to get some opportunity now. You know, Ryan, let's do this. Before we actually get these singles to make some decisions,
Okay.
I want to let them to have an opportunity to choose who they may want to get, you know, to know a little bit better.
Okay.
We'll put 60 seconds on the clock.
I like 60 seconds.
Okay, so we can make this brief and brilliant, but I'm going to let you go in and ask whatever qualifying questions for anybody that you might want to know a little bit more about. And because these ladies say they like some masculine men, I'm going to go ahead and pull my brothers up real quick, because I'm going to let the brothers go ahead and have an opportunity to go first. So fellas, based on this panel of beautiful ladies I have, do any of you guys want to go ahead and ask any one of these ladies for an opportunity to speak to them briefly? All men have one opportunity to choose at least one lady to get to know a little bit better. So go ahead and make that decision.
And it's not the final decision. You may just have some concerns or some follow-up questions for clarity that you might want to get before we go into our matching round.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Benny. I see you about to listen.
Yeah. So Krista, she said that she's a Christian business coach. I wanted her to go more in detail about that.
Okay,
Right,
that's
Krista,
a great
let's hear
question. I'm a Christian career coach. So specific.
Career coach. Okay.
Yeah. So I've got 17 years of talent acquisition, HR experience. And, you know, the story of a lot of people, I found myself laid off at a certain point a few years ago. And so I took that as an opportunity to kind of pull back the curtain for other people that have been laid off, unemployed, and give them tips, tricks, strategy to get into their next opportunity. So that's what I do. Of course, as a Christian woman, all things Christianity and spirituality, they matter. So it's not just a matter of finding your dream job, but aligning all of your skills and talents with your God-given purpose so you can impact the kingdom positively.
So is this a business along with a ministry, so to speak? Is this a ministry as well that you're doing within the body of Christ? Do you do like speaking engagements and stuff like that?
So you
Short
ain't got
answer, yes. Minute or 2 seconds. Yes.
Good job,
Hey,
Krista.
Krista.
Good job.
Wait a hey. My sister understands brief and brilliant. I like that.
Fellas, who's gonna step up?
Anybody want to ask some more questions for these beautiful ladies?
I have a question for Chris.
For Chris or Krista?
Crystal.
Okay, for Krista, go ahead.
Chris, do you have a height preference?
I don't have a height preference. I used to, but not anymore. I'm 5'5". As long as he's taller than me, I'm a high heels girl. So as long as he's at least a couple inches taller than me, then I'm good.
And I'm curious, Eric, why did you ask that question?
Because I guess that's something that we run into a lot. Because I'm only 5'7", and I know a lot of women have height preferences.
First of all, listen, don't ever put only in front of your height, brother, okay? Don't you ever do that.
5'7" is solid. That's solid.
No, yeah, listen. It depends on the sister you ask. You talking about solid, it depends on the sister you ask.
I'll be honest, with the right amount of confidence, any
oh yeah,
amount,
you stand on that confidence.
Right.
Look, 5'7", walk up in that room, be 6'4".
Right.
So listen.
Just have you some thousands to go with that height.
Right. And a bag full of swag, right?
Right.
But let me go ahead. Thank you, Eric. Thank you for asking that question. That was a really great question. Gauntlet, Rob, any questions for these beautiful ladies before we go ahead and go into making some decisions?
No, I heard everything I need to hear. I heard everything.
What Gauntlet said, hey, we good.
He said we good. So first of all, ladies, I want to give you the same opportunity because you might want to know something about these brothers just a little bit more. So I'm going to let y'all get 60 seconds on the clock to dig a little bit deeper.
And no questions to all the fellas, Phoenix.
Yeah. None of them, spray alls, all right?
Right.
You got to make a decision. Who want to go first?
I'll ask a question, but I feel like I've been talking a lot. Is that okay?
Krista, listen.
Krista.
What do you think?
You a star, Krista.
Okay, so I'll ask Rob, I want to know, just kind of on a day-to-day basis, living and working, can you tell us more about what you do, what your day-to-day looks like, and how a partner would comfortably fit into that?
Good question. I'm glad you asked that because my partner would have to complement what I'm doing now. I've had a military career. I've had a medical career. And I jumped into entrepreneurship maybe the last 6-7 years, and I'm finally in a very different position and have a different lifestyle, to include being an empty nester. So I have meetings every single day, Monday through Friday. I do travel once a week, and I have engagements all throughout the week. So she would literally have to be my partner. So we would have to communicate and have some patience and grace between each other. And really, compatibility, understanding, and work ethic, I think, would be the resolve to see how far we can go in a relationship.
Just in time.
Okay, so did he
she
answer that? Was that thorough enough for you, Krista?
She said good answer. He might have just messed around and made the cut just now. Yeah? He might have just did it.
That was possible.
Let's see.
Now, Anastasia, Chris,
Phoenix,
what's up? Y'all got any? Okay, Anastasia, what's up?
Gauntlet. So you're a musician, correct?
Amongst other things, yes.
So, okay, so then you say amongst other things, so what is your day-to-day duty?
All right, so right now, I've been a musician for years, drummer, producer. I have a podcast, shameless plug, The Husband Type Conversations. That's been a year, like going on a year now. And I'm also getting into, my sister introduced me to, she's a lawyer, but she introduced me to Index Universal Life Insurance. So pretty much I've always been an entrepreneur in the sense of just like doing different things. So my day to day, literally, I play drums. I have like gigs Tuesday through Sunday. So right now I'm studying in the life insurance space, and I also have a team that works so diligently with me.
We got 4 seconds left. I got one more question.
Go ahead.
I'm no longer in Atlanta, and none of these ladies are in Atlanta. So is long distance a problem?
Nah, it hasn't. Nah, I don't think it's been an issue. I don't think it would be an issue.
There you go. Way to go, A. Way to go ahead and be aggressive to get that last one in, because that's
And
a good
use
question.
That time efficiently. I like that.
I love the way they operate on this 60 seconds right here.
Very good question. Now the ladies are trying to find out what's going on day to day. So I don't. Maybe next time we got to jump into like the what you do for work a little bit deeper in the conversation.
Maybe, or maybe they got to use that 60 seconds.
That's a good
or
one.
maybe they got to use it. We got 2 more ladies that potentially, want to dig a little deeper. Chris, you curious about any brother here on the set?
I got a question for Gauntlet.
Okay.
So let's say you're in church, you're not playing the drums, but you're actually on the pew next to me. It's praise and worship. How high do you lift your hands up when you worship?
All the way. All the way.
Show me how high right now.
Please surrender.
Okay, I just want to see if you was offering some muscles up to the Lord.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah. That's so good.
She said, "Is them muscles for God or what?"
Get it. Hey, show them that profile pic.
Hey, don't let me mess it up. Y'all got 35 seconds. Hey, use your time, baby. Use your time.
I just wanted to make you laugh. That's all.
That's so good. Thank you. That's funny.
That's all I got for you.
Okay. And for the lovers in the chat, go ahead and pull Gauntlet up on that one screen real quick.
Yeah. And look, also for the lovers in the chat, I want to see who you think is a match. In the chat, drop who you think is going to be a match in the chat. I want to know your thoughts because we're getting to Phoenix next, and I want to know if Phoenix is curious.
Steamy in here right now.
I mean, just a little bit.
Crazy.
Go ahead, Phoenix. Who you curious about?
Excuse me. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I was on mute.
Oh, you good.
I have a question for Rob. Have you ever been in a committed relationship with a woman who travels around the world, who speaks around the world, who's highly decorated? And if so, how do you feel about maybe someone not being there as physically often as you need because they're trying to save the world?
Thank you for asking that. I think that's my preference. To be honest with you, I think I need to have someone who has her own thing going on, but at the same time we come together and support each other because support's going to look different, for different people. But if she's ambitious and she operated in a purpose, it's not my job to hinder her or hold her back. I should be able to complement what she's doing so we can both do what we're doing together and apart, so to speak. Have I dated that before? Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. You had 6 seconds. I ain't want to jump in. I ain't know if you want to sneak something in there. Okay. But check it out. Way to use your time. Use your time. Listen, I want to get creative here with how we do this one because we've done some reveals on the last episode, but I want to know if we could do some a little different here because I want to have some fun with how we go about figuring out if we got some matches on the set. But just to feel it out, ladies, you think it's somebody on here that you got a little interest in? I just want to know. Just let me know. Just generally, just a yes, head nod, not really. What you thinking? Okay. Fellas, what about you? You guys, is there some ladies on here that you might be interested in?
Yeah.
Okay, my fellas got some interest. So let me know, guys, is that possible to send a private? So here's what we're going to do.
They already sent them.
So here's what we're going to do. I want everybody to send a private, because y'all on Zoom backstage, these folks backstage. I want you to change the setting on the chat to Hardly Initiated, okay, to host. Not on everyone. And I want you to drop your match privately in the Zoom chat to our people so we can announce it. We're going to do it a little bit different today, okay? So, and I want to make sure y'all understand what I'm saying. Do y'all understand what I'm saying, guys, when I say that? Is there anybody confused on the panel about how to do what I'm explaining to do right now?
Yeah, you got to show me. So say it again. Change it to host.
Yes. So I want you in the chat where it says, and if it's an issue, if it's an easier way, if you can text me, by the way, y'all got my number. You can text me if you're really just confused. But I want you to either put privately backstage the name of the person that is your match. And Lano, put 60 seconds on the clock real quick. Can we just drop 60? Can you put a 60 on there real quick? Because I just want to give them some time. And in the meantime, I want to let y'all know Hardly in Love, by the way, is with the official sponsor of the show here and the absolute best card deck. I'm talking about to light up your dinner table, your date night, your late night, your game night. Okay, a lame night will never be one again because we got 100 open-ended questions for you to have a great time. And we doing something special with you guys. You put live in LIVE and you get a special discount code. We like to bless the people that watch the show live. So that is for you guys there. And but by the way, we got some names rolling in, guys. Okay, and by the way, if y'all say no match, y'all could also just send us no match too, by the way, if you feel like you ain't got your match here on the stage. But I feel good about the chemistry that I've been feeling here tonight. Let me look at the chat, what the chat got going on here. If you think we're going to have a match tonight, drop a match in the chat. I want to see what you got, family. I want to see what you got. And check it out. Y'all ready to go ahead and announce to the people? Uh-oh. So let's come over here. Oh, hold on. Listen, we got a couple more names that need to be released. So go ahead. Yes. Let us know who we waiting on. We are waiting on Gauntlet. We waiting on Rob. And we are waiting on who? And we are waiting on Benny. And I'm snitching.
Yeah, I'm having some technical difficulties, man. I'm actually texting you. So
no, go ahead and text me. Go ahead and text me. Go listen, go ahead. I want to get it in here. And by the way, y'all, look, we throwing a curveball at everybody. Tonight. So y'all be patient with us because I want to add a little bit more suspense. Let me tell you why I didn't do the fingers, because here's what I noticed. I had a complaint that was genuine. I had to run the tapes back. We're going to have a referee. They was like, Ty, we got some folks that be waiting for other folks' fingers to pop up before they put their fingers up. All right. So I'm trying to even the playing fields, and we're going to get a little bit better. All right. This is just growing pains with the family.
Now, I might have misspelled the names. My apologies, but I just text you. So
she ain't the one for you then. She ain't the one for you then.
Oh my God.
No, I got you, Benny. I got yours. I got you, Benny. We got the last two? All right, so let's go ahead. So look, let's go ahead and we'll start announcing the ones that we have now. No, I got Benny. We good. They asked me who. Hold on. There you go, right there. There you go. So let's go ahead. Ryan got all the names. Ryan, let the people know what's going on. Who we going to start with, by the way? We're going to start with the ladies or we're going to start with the brothers?
Okay, hold on. I'm tallying. I'm making the final tallies. Looks like we got everybody in. Okay. First, you know what? First, let's bring up Eric to the stage first.
Let's bring Eric to the stage here. How you feeling, by the way, Eric? How you feeling tonight?
I'm doing great.
You feeling like your match might be here tonight?
I was hoping, but no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Now the reason I wanted to bring Eric up is because Eric sent us over his match, and Eric responded with no match. Eric, what's that about?
Well, you know, a king chooses his queen, right? And these women are very beautiful, very intellectual. So it's not anything against them, but then again, you know, it's about compatibility and chemistry. And I didn't feel that the reciprocation, you know, from my interactions with the ladies. And so it's just me using my discernment.
Okay, understood.
Okay.
He said he wasn't feeling the chemistry.
Okay. No, that's a real answer.
Okay,
That's a real answer because
understood.
you want to feel that chemistry,
Understood.
and you got to feel it. Who we bringing up to the stage next?
So let's bring up Benny. And let's bring up Chris.
Yes. Let's bring up Chris.
Now, Benny, you are choosing on or shooting your shot at Chris. Unfortunately, Chris has actually chosen another single. Now, Benny, I want you to tell us why you decided to choose Chris.
Just curious to know how serious she is about ministry. She was saying that she's in a whole different space with her relationship with God now. She's a PK. That's something I'm familiar with. But I'm just curious to know what that space looked like. And so when people tells me that in the past that they had a past, but now they're in a whole different place, I'm just curious to know what that is. So I'm just curious, even just on a friendship perspective. I'm just curious to know. I would just like to get to know her even from that perspective. Just curious to know, what that space looked like.
That makes sense. And Chris, without giving up, who, you selected, give us some feedback in terms of why Benny, was not quite your type tonight.
I would say it had nothing to do with any of the details about you that you shared. I think you're a very interesting person, and I think there's a lot to be said about your interest in ministry. And we can, like you said, as we can always talk on a friend level about my story of God chasing me down more than once, more than twice. But I would say a chemistry thing. I wouldn't get ultra spiritual and say discernment in this scenario. I would just say it was a chemistry thing. I felt like we didn't have enough dialogue to reveal as much chemistry as I would like to see.
That makes a lot of sense. Benny, you got that feedback?
Oh yeah, I received that. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Excellent. Now, Delano, you got to kind of, fix this one up for us. I want to actually leave Chris on the stage, and I want to bring two more people up. How are we going to do that, Delano?
We getting creative tonight.
Yeah.
Hold on, y'all be patient with us.
Yep, go ahead and bring Chris up, and let's bring Anastasia up as well. And let's bring Gauntlet up.
Oh. And by the way, I don't even know the vote, so I'm watching too. I'm in the chat watching with y'all. What's happening right now?
Now, this is very interesting, so I want to start with getting the ladies' feedback.
Okay.
Now, both of you ladies chose to match with G. So G has some options tonight. Very tough decision G has to make.
The 6'2" brothers winning tonight.
But before we get into it, I want to start with Anastasia. And Anastasia, tell us what exactly you were feeling about G tonight.
It is. I really appreciated the way he spoke on himself. He was very thorough. I appreciate people with communication, and there are people that don't get really too inquisitive about my kids. They actually just kind of assume something instead of asking me. And the comment that came out about, what genuine love is, and that is exactly where my heart was.
Wow, really great perspective on that. And I remember that question. That was really good. Question, G. Now, Chris, what about you? Was it something in particular that you were feeling about G and kind of what y'all spoke about tonight?
Yes, and I'm a bit inquisitive. So I took a look at his Instagram before tonight, and I saw a little bit about his podcast, and I also saw that he was a drummer, and I thought that the two of those things together just made a very interesting person.
So
Wait. She said.
first off,
You said
first off,
before
that's,
tonight.
that's excellent due diligence. But I'm trying to figure out
Well, tonight,
how did y'all
earlier before the show.
Oh,
'cause
before the show, we put the thing.
See,
Oh,
we not gonna put that in there
I'm
no
introverted,
more.
but I'm inquisitive.
That
So
is
you gave me the resources. So I said, well, let me look and
crazy.
see.
I didn't think you. Of course, they gonna look at
That makes sense.
It
That
makes so
sense.
much sense. Okay.
So now you know we got to put some new
Okay.
rules.
It was already a light choose.
Yeah.
It was a light choose happening
Yeah.
before 8 p.m. popped off.
Okay. That makes sense. Bring it back up, Long. Bring it back up to the stage, all three of them. Now, G, how you feeling? Because you got some tough decisions to make.
No, I feel good. I mean, honestly, I don't feel like it's tough. I think it's like timing, and it's where I am and where they are.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Well,
Both
look.
amazing women for sure.
Okay. Well, what I want you to do, I want you to let us know, G, who you chose and why.
So I chose Anastasia. The reason I did in this space is Chris is a beautiful woman, number one. I was listening to Chris and I'm realizing she is such a woman who is deserving and ready to be the wife that she is ready to be even now. So Chris, I don't know if you knew, which I don't think a lot of people knew. I don't know if it was in the IG, but I literally was a runner. So I've been divorced twice. So there's work that I'm literally doing in this season, going to therapy. I've actually been out of a relationship since July of last year. So I'm sort of more or less rebuilding, and a lot of what I used to do as far as just being out and meeting people, I really came back into a space of saying, you know what, let me learn how it should be to be a friend, learn how to be a man that can be respected because I respect myself, my relationship with Christ. So my pace, the reason I said it was easy for me is not because you're not amazing. It's because I know my pace has to build from the foundation of friendship because I never did that before. I was always hasty. So when Anastasia was talking about what it looks like for being a best friend, I was like, you know what? That's exactly where I'm at in this season of my journey because I can't afford to, and I won't be in covenant again to be divorced. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too much equity. I'm learning how to put more energy into loving myself, loving Christ, and understanding the value of what it means to give your covenant and your word to marry a woman and to keep it with God. So you're bomb, Chris, period. Amazing. I just knew I'm like, okay, she's already been in this space where she knows she's already been married to. She has her beautiful 18-year-old son. She's moving a certain way. So you're not one to play with. And I'm not going to disrespect your time or your energy. So for me, my pace is friendship, just to understand the foundation. And it seemed like Anastasia was already sort of like, okay, I'm there. And then that's a place where I feel comfortable being able to be no pressure. Because like I said, I was a runner. So it's nothing to do with you, but Anastasia really locked in on something that made clear to me that, okay, she's in a process of patience. And I can be okay with that. So I won't feel like I'm letting you down. I won't feel like I'm doing anything that falls short of what you could expect of me or what you probably could perceive of me. You know what I'm saying?
So you said, so no, you just said a lot there. You said a lot there. So what, Chris, when you hear that, what's your first thoughts when you hear that, Chris?
It's funny because all the reasons that you listed that you weren't qualified, those are all the reasons why I qualified you even before hearing you talk on here. Because the testimony is what builds us. It's what builds our character. And so when we talk about, should you know your partner's sexual past, it's not about like, report to me. It's about transparency. How close can we get to where I can tell you, hey, I did this, or I messed up and I tried this. And it's like, well, let's pray this off of us and let's come stronger together to fight against whatever we might be struggling with. So all the things that you felt like may disqualify you, I don't know. They were the reasons why I was interested. So just keep that in mind in the future.
So thank you so much for that, Chris. And now, Anastasia, when you hear,
give us the one with Anastasia.
Absolutely, Anastasia. Now, we got to see Anastasia and her match here on the stage, because obviously Gauntlet gave his reason why he did not choose Chris and preferred choosing yourself. What was your initial thoughts as you was hearing his reasoning?
His reason why he chose me?
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciated it, to be quite honest, because I am at a point where, we're all growing. Healing is a journey. It is not, I don't ever believe that we truly get to the point of being healed. In reading The Mastery of Love, one of the things they say that we don't push people's buttons, we actually hit a sore spot. So we learned that we're all flawed in some way, and building that friendship is how you understand what you can and cannot accept from people. So like I said, there's different qualities in every individual, and I think we all want marriage, but I think we forget what that communication looks like and what that means to be somebody's friend outside of a relationship, and where that comfortability comes from. Because I want more than just a relationship. I mean, it's easy to, I've been married, but I want friendship. And I think that's where I've learned in my past relationships that I didn't have that center point.
Well, first of all, congratulations to the match here on the set here today. So congratulations to you both. I think both of you already know what each other's social medias look like, so you're going to connect just fine and do very well. And, again, I don't know what's going on with the other matches or if we have any. So, Ryan, can you please let us know where we're going with this thing here next?
Yeah, I can. I want to say we hit 800 people in the chat. So the chat is going crazy, guys. We got to send over those super chats, because you're saying some very awesome, engaging things in the chat, but I can't read it unless you send it over the super chat. And the thing is, we really, really want to know.
Oh, yeah, we want to know your thoughts
in the chat. Think about what's happening and even how we're doing the matches tonight. So do me a favor, Lano. I actually want to bring on the remainder of our contestants, and let's.
How many we got remaining?
We got three that we haven't spoken
about. Three
more.
Yet.
So let's bring up Phoenix real quick. Go back to that 3 screen. Let's bring up Phoenix. Back
1 second.
3, Lano.
Okay.
So now we know we got to get these prep. Back to Let's bring up Krista, and let's bring up Rob down there.
All right.
At this time, I would like to do things a little bit, just a little bit differently. So, Rob, you got 2 ladies here. And I actually just want to really start with you versus starting with the ladies. And I want to get an idea, Rob, of which one of these ladies you have interest in.
I would say the business coach will be my closest match, just because of the commonality.
Okay.
So
okay. When you say
business coach, you referring to Krista?
He said we need them name tags up real quick. he said we gotta get. He said Harlan this year.
Okay, we're gonna work on it, Rob.
Y'all gotta get them name tags popping.
Okay. No, it's a lot of people. I get it.
I get it. And and he said that's his closest match.
Yeah, but it's closest. So Rob, I mean,
is it still far away?
So I think the determining factor, which would help the young lady decide, is where I'm at right now. I'm closer to looking for life partnership versus marriage. So I think that was one of the things that, may be a determining factor if she's looking for marriage in the very near future. I'm more so looking for life partnership first, and then exploring that.
Got it. And the reason I chose to bring all of you up is because all of y'all had kind of shady responses to who you choosing. So that's really why I wanted to do that. So Krista and Phoenix, I need some feedback from y'all because y'all was on the fence about, making a decision about this. So Krista, we'll start with you first. What exactly was on your mind?
So here's the shadiness. I'll just expose myself. I initially said Rob because I love everything that he's presented tonight. I even love your style. I love that the way you're dressed, the way you're presenting yourself. Everything you shared would be a close alignment. But then I thought about it, and I actually think you'd be a better match with Phoenix.
So she over here playing matchmaker now.
Okay. And Phoenix, what are your thoughts about this?
So I too had a little bit of a shady response. So, and mainly because I can see the energy moving, and I have quite a bit of suitors. I've never been short of great quality suitors. But I have had to question myself of whether or not I want marriage. So it's interesting that Rob was like, he's looking for partnership, then marriage secondary, because that I'm actually in that same space as well. But my response was a little shady because I said, well, if there's another woman that's interested in him, let her have him because I don't want to be like greedy, I was like, I don't want to be greedy. I have enough suitors. But it's, I think that it's up to, him. I think definitely what stood out for me with Rob, different from the other guys, was that he didn't seem as stringent in the religion. He even said that he was more spiritual, which means he probably has a separate walk. And I appreciate that in a person, as I spoke about earlier.
So, I mean, Rob.
And I like that he's a businessman as well. I've owned a business for 20 years and we're international at this point. And I do ask the question about travel because I do a lot of strategic building and business development work and PR work with around the country and around the globe. So, yeah.
Rob, what when you hear that, what are your thoughts? Are you thinking that you need to double back and, rethink your decision, or are you firm in your decision that you made prior?
I think we need to have an additional conversation for that. Phoenix.
Okay. So you're saying you need to have an additional conversation with Phoenix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring him up, Lana.
Well then, yeah, let's bring him up. Can we put 60 seconds on the clock?
Because I know 60 seconds is not quite enough for y'all to get some understanding, but I am just curious, like what is there to discuss?
Let's see. I want to know if we can just have a baseline level of discussion between you two to at least figure out if you guys are gonna match here and take this off Hardly in Love. So let's put 60 seconds on the clock, and I want you to go ahead, Rob, and do what you do. Take it from here. Whatever it is you feel like you would need to know to figure out if that's something that you want to, that you're going to be interested in, do your thing.
Well, first of all, I appreciate what you said. That really means a lot that you shared that. I would love to have some additional conversation offline. I think we do have a lot of commonality, and by more, lets me know that you're more of a fit. Why?
Yeah, no, I'll be definitely open to doing that. You seem like a man that's well versed, and I like that you have evolved in your career to step into a space of entrepreneurship too, because I know that that's a challenging thing, and a lot of people are not built for it. And it sounds like you got some of those gray hairs from stepping in and handling business all this time. So yeah, I would be open to going deeper.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. He said, let's do. We got 2 matches in one night tonight.
Now, this was a sudden change of events, but I am pleased with the results.
I am pleased with the results. In fact, should we go?
Thank you for the alley-oop, Krista. But Krista gave the alley-oop.
Steph Curry with the shot, boy.
Right.
So hold on.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
First of all, I really want to bring Q&A. I really want to see if we can get the thoughts of the people up here tonight.
Yeah.
If y'all think we should do a Q&A tonight and bring the audience up, drop a yes in the chat right now. We actually have a super chat that we need to go ahead and read.
let
I
us
want to
know,
read your
and
super chats, by the way.
We are completely monopolizing their time. Y'all been on almost 3 hours. I mean, do y'all have a little bit of time to see
Oh, that's a good
what
question.
the lovers in the chat actually think, and we bring them up? Do y'all have time?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Let's drop the link.
Okay.
We're about to drop the link right here, guys. So if you want to come up and ask questions to any of the bachelors and bachelorettes tonight, feel free to come up and join us tonight in conversation, because you know how we do it. We are going to bring our lovers in here so we can have a dialogue. That's the beauty of being here for the live show every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Y'all, this is how we doing it. Shout out to all my early adopters here for episode 3 of Hardly in Love. Thank you, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're in the chat right now. Please don't be watching and not subscribing.
Broke a record. Already 800 people in the chat, so that was excellent. We're going to continue to make it fun and engaging and exciting. Shout out to the 8 singles that we have for tonight. Really, really great group. And the thing, I'm getting texts on my phone because, you know, I got all my people watching it. And they're like, yo, how are these people single? These are some really, really good selections y'all made. So happy about that. Shout out to Delano and Tyshawn for casting this one. And I just dropped the link in the chat. And all we want you to do is come up. We're going to get you on the panel. You know, well, not really on the panel, but we're going to get you to come up and ask whatever questions that you have for the singles. And they're running out of time, so please get on here fast. And I want you to be very specific. And I don't want you to ask a question to every single person. I want you to identify one person, and I want you to go ahead and ask them a question for clarity, for understanding, or if by chance you happen to want, you got to be bold to want to shoot your shot. Let us know.
If we get a shot tonight, that'd be something else. Y'all better act right on this stage, y'all. You might get stolen tonight.
And shout out to the panelists, because that was an impromptu way, the singles, an impromptu way of kind of making a decision, doing a reveal. I thought that was pretty good.
No, big shout out. No, great job, Ryan. That was a good call. I enjoyed that one. And y'all can see all my early adopters. Y'all going to be seeing us get shifty and doing things a little bit different. But we did get a super chat. So let's read the super chat until we go ahead and get the people in backstage to ask questions.
Absolutely. Shout out to Slave for Christ for just putting food on our table.
And supporting the channel. Big shout out to Slave for Christ.
Slave for Christ going crazy. If Gauntlet is waiting until marriage and Anastasia is not, that's not a match. Krista waiting until marriage and even thinking about Rob, who is waiting until marriage, is diabolical. G and K need more discipleship. So, you know, clearly Slave for Christ has definitely some strong opinions on how things should be done. And Slave for Christ, why don't you call up here so we can see what you got?
First of all, we didn't even have the fireplace on, man. Hey, Lano, put the fireplace. We didn't even get that shot there. Show the people how we getting down over here.
Oh yeah, we
get that
need
widescreen.
too.
Get that widescreen. Yeah, there we go. It's cozy up in this joint.
And please, y'all have to send these super chats because the opinions in the chat are incredible.
And by the way, if you want to be one of the contestants on the show here, we did put the link in the description for you to sign up. I want you guys, listen, everybody that's up here, these are our initiates, now our lovers, our supporters, and we want to feature you on the show. So go ahead, click the description, and feel free to sign up and send it to somebody else, by the way, that you also might think might be a good bachelor or bachelorette, all right, on the show. Now, I think, you know, it's a new show, so people might be getting a little nervous, but we do have somebody backstage here. Lano, do you see our person backstage? We got Jasmine backstage. Jazz, look, don't worry. We're going to get you. Yeah, absolutely. So go ahead, Jasmine, again, I want you to make sure you have a question. Be brief and brilliant. In fact, Jazz, you are here now. Can you hear me, Jazz?
I can hear you good.
Perfect.
Okay, first of all, give me your name, your age, and your location.
I'm Jasmine. I'm 39, and I'm in South Carolina, but I'm from Detroit.
The D is in the building. And by the way, what's your relationship status?
I'm single.
Okay, look, so you might be a little future contestant on the show or something like that?
I've thought about it.
You thought about it? Okay. I'll let you sleep on it. You know, the link is in the description. Well, what's your question tonight? Who is your question for, first off?
My question is for Gauntlet. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead and put her and Gauntlet on the screen.
Okay. And what's your question for Gauntlet?
Do you think that you chose out of fear versus what God really has for you?
You said, do I think I chose out of fear versus what God has for me?
what he really has for you. Yes, just a question, no judgment, just a question.
No. I definitely respect that and I appreciate that question. I don't believe I chose out of fear. I'm just choosing out of best of what I'm hearing and what resonates, especially where I'm heading. So, like I was saying, the friendship space is such a beautiful space to be in, even though I wasn't big on it when I was in the past, younger. But yeah, I chose out of what I was given, the information that was given, and the space that I'm in this season.
Okay. I don't know if I can ask one more question.
And
but okay,
I'm
thank you,
no,
Dominic.
go ahead, Jazz. I'm gonna let you ask one more question. What's your question?
It's a follow up to what he said. I was just listening and thinking about how you were talking about abstinence and doing things God's way, and then respectfully, you choose someone who's not living that lifestyle, and she's been very clear, which I respect. But then you have someone that you could really build with. I think Chris is amazing. I don't know her at all, but I can see through her, and I just wanted to I don't understand how you really made that choice. I'm just being honest. As a listener and a viewer, I'm not in your body, but what you said did not align with your choice.
No, that's perfectly understandable. So I've in relationships before, I've very much been affectionate, and there's a season of where I had to make a strong decision to make it clear, like, hey, based off of how I am as affectionate, we may have to really consider not doing this. And I'm not saying that that Anastasia wouldn't be open to it. I just know that there's a space where if it's about me leading. If I'm going to lead and say, hey, you know what, this is what I'm not going to do, then I don't think the boundary should be disrespected. But if it is disrespected, then it's based off of us not being able to go into a relationship. So as a friend, I can understand her desire because I've had that desire. So I'm not saying I'm choosing right now that this is going to be marital, but it is a conversation that would have to be at hand realistically because I am affectionate. I'm just not going to allow myself to act on it. So I understand her desire. And the truth be told, as a friend, those are things we could talk through and really set as a boundary. But as far as the pace, Chris, I didn't know until what Chris was saying, but Chris's space where I was listening wasn't as much clear as much as Anastasia was as far as her friendship journey. So that's where I realized, okay, as a friend, yeah, I can desire it. There's times I'm gonna lie, it's really rough as a man, and we're 43. When you're like, yo, I wish I can, especially after you've been married, I wish I can have some. It's really rough. But to talk about it and to say, okay, this is where I'm at, this is where I would like to be, but as friends, we're gonna have to respect whatever the boundaries are. Then I don't count anybody out for that in that conversation space.
There you have it. Jazz, thank you so much, sweetheart, for coming up and asking those questions. You was the only bold one tonight to come up. Everybody else backstage,
but the chat
they still getting adjusted.
The lovers in the chat supported that. I guess that was a question that the chat really wanted to know. So shout out to her for being bold.
So may I interject, because I mean they are speaking on me, and someone did speak on me, and hello Jasmine. So just to make it clear, hello Jasmine, because they just popped up with a different name. But so just to be clear with everybody, just because I said I wasn't completely waiting until marriage, because I don't want to make a promise to God and I fall back on that. I mean, that is something that I have to clear on. But at the same time, I didn't say that I was out here being promiscuous. I said I was waiting on a commitment. So if you're building friendship with somebody, you will come across where you guys set boundaries with each other. And that would be a conversation that me and my partner would have on where we wanted to be at in that space.
Okay,
there you have it.
Anastasia said, she had to straighten some things out.
We got, it looks like we got Prophetess Quenisha backstage that just came on. You got to make sure you turn your camera on if you backstage so we can let you up, just so I know that you're serious and you're not a trizzo backstage. But I want everybody, again, who is serious about, you know what? It just takes sometimes one person to give some confidence, because now we got some people coming backstage.
Okay, wow.
Go ahead.
And
Prophetess Quenisha's
Eric,
back
we just going to keep switching out these cameras, or just the panelists, we just keep switching out the cameras, because they got us on a little 8-cam max. So we just...
Yeah, don't be offended if we switch you out. It's because we maxed out, y'all. So we kind of got to do that to bring our lovers up so they can ask their questions. But it's Prophetess Quenisha. What's up with you?
We sure can.
Hold up.
Well, wait.
I'm having a technical issue.
Okay. Well, we can hear you just fine.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, go ahead. Give me your name, your age, and your location.
I'm here. I'm here. Thank you for having me. The reason why I came
Hold
up here
on,
is-
wait. Can you hear me?
Your name, age, and location.
Name, age, and location.
Oh.
I think
hear some feedback.
She can't hear us. She can't hear us. So
No, I can hear you, but I think I'm hearing myself. Okay, my name is Quenisha. I am 33 actually, and I'm located in the DMV.
Are you single?
Yes.
Okay, well go ahead with who's your question for?
So I actually want to encourage Benny. If you can find it in your heart, I want him to have his own episode. No. I want him to have his own episode. Since he is a virgin, I feel he should have a special on Valentine's Day.
Are you
interested?
Special someone?
You interested?
Oh no, I'm not interested. I'm just saying, like, I really hope that he can get his own episode since he's a virgin.
Okay.
Wow. But are you interested?
Why are you not interested?
No,
That's a virgin. This is a
I'm
man
not
of God right here. You single? Why you
My
ain't
husband
interested in
has
this virgin
already
man?
my husband has already found me, but I wanted to come up here, and I thought that Benny. Some of us in the chat was like, "Oh my gosh, he should get his own episode."
Hold on, wait. I'm curious. You say you're single, but you say your husband has already found you. Explain that to me so I could better understand that. Well, wait. I wish I had that cricket sound right now.
Wait,
can you hear me, or you just don't want to answer that question?
No, it's like I'm hearing myself twice.
Okay, and you can't hear my voice.
I'm hearing an echo on my end, and I'm like,
okay. Unfortunately, Prophetess, listen.
I can hear you, but I can hear me as well.
No worries.
Well, we're gonna have to push you. We're gonna have to put you in the back this time until you get it together, because I got to hear about this husband that found you, but your single situation.
Yeah.
Because that's very interesting. I'm really curious about that.
And we
one.
do appreciate the encouragement for all of our singles, but just keep in mind, encourage in the chat, ask questions on the stage. Okay, that's very important.
Absolutely. Do we got somebody else backstage, Lano? Okay.
Put Eric back up so we can.
Let's
continue.
put Eric. Yeah, put Eric back up here because we're about to close this thing out tonight, y'all. We're about to close this thing out. Oh, my man Eric said my match is not here tonight. Hey,
no worries.
Listen, Eric, go get you some sleep, brother. Go ahead. Matter of fact, he said I'm about to get my real online social media profile popping.
Oh,
but
wow.
Check it out, y'all, man. I appreciate, first of all, big shout out to you guys. I think you guys created some really great conversation. I think the conversation started to become a lot more honest as we got into conversation, and I could tell y'all started getting comfortable, and we achieved some pretty dope conversation tonight. So shout out to all my bachelors and bachelorettes first, and all my lovers that stayed here in the chat with me tonight. I ask that you guys continue to support us as we embark on this new journey, y'all. Y'all see this. I know y'all be getting us on the chat. Y'all be like, the sound, y'all need to fix the sound and do all this and do all that.
It's a lot.
Y'all be cutting us up, y'all. But let me tell you, it's a lot to bring these shows here. We dream these things. We have these, these visions to bring you guys these shows and these experiences that are very difficult to deliver, especially at the level that we like to deliver, experiences. So I just ask that you stay patient with us and that you stay in a place of support. Shout out to every subscriber we have, every member that has become a lover already, and helping us embark upon this new journey of Harley in Love. Every Thursday night at 8 p.m. We will be back Thursday, and we think about bringing y'all some Tuesday nights as well, because there's some variations of ways we can do this. I saw somebody in the chat talking about we want to see a 1v4, right? Y'all got the form. We want to see the 1v4.
We got those coming.
So we got some things coming.
Yeah.
But stay patient, y'all, because it's very hard to deliver this content at the level that we want to, because we want it to be quality. You see the caliber of singles that we're bringing on here. These are people that I have a ton of respect for, that whether or not you agree with them, they're doing great things in the world. And again, I have a ton of respect for all my bachelors and bachelorettes. So thank you guys again. Is there anything that you want to tell our people before we go ahead and let them go?
No, just the best way to the best way to support the channel, guys, is by purchasing your very own Hardly in Love deck. It's a 100 prompt dating card game that will take your dating experiences to the next level. And the best way to take it to the next level is really by having conversations about compatibility and chemistry and red flags and all the things in between.
Yeah.
And you know, it's kind of got me thinking, because I'm looking at Chris' face. I'm looking at her face, and I'm like, we need to have like a follow, like a private follow-up where we can maybe dig a little bit deeper into the thoughts and feelings of some of our singles from tonight.
Yeah, maybe that might be the Tuesday session.
Yeah,
you know, the Tuesday is like the post show when y'all let y'all hair down, because some of y'all was really on y'all politician vibes tonight.
I agree.
I could tell when I could tell. I'm gonna call y'all on the phone after the show. Y'all gonna be the first thing. Be like, nigga, let me tell you about these contestants. I already know how y'all be, but it's all good. But it's all good. I'm gonna let y'all do you, okay? But much love to you guys. Like we said, every Thursday night at 8 p.m., just turn your notifications on, because we're going to surprise you with some more content. So stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And y'all already know how we do it.
Facts.
Hardly in Love. We are out.